the inside, they love to run this play. They put a Cortland Sutton in the slot and they run him on the fade.
Yo, what's up, boys? Something back at it. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Well, if you watched me off live earlier today, if you watched me earlier on Twitch, but you didn't, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. Today we should be talking more about Trump, obviously, like we normally do. We'll look at some usual articles, watch news coverage. What's been going on today. Everybody was on Tucker. We're really trying to watch that. Piers, Dave Smith, Jack Yeager, I can pronounce his last name that good. Was on Piers Morgan. His son was mentioned a decent amount, so we're gonna react to all of that stuff. Then do our reacts later. So that's basically the goal. That's basically what I planned. So let's get right into it, boys.
You have one job. You do one thing for a 2-hour practice.
So let's get into right now.
Yep. So I'm not far away. I could be in New York tomorrow.
Dude, my iPad's
those two missed PhDs definitely helped the Broncos. Far away. I could be in New York tomorrow.
Give me a second.
Those two missed PhDs definitely helped the Broncos. I don't care what anybody says. It's deflating. Everybody's high. You high-fiving on the sideline. Oh, Joe. You're like, yeah, we just got a touchdown. And then all of a sudden, the field goes the kicker shakes.
So Trump did some medical executive orders. So look at it. All of that. So, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ is a lot of it. Okay, fuck. Alright, see what he said here.
For far too long period of time, America's recommended more childhood vaccines than any peer nation, and even twice as many doses as some European countries, and even more than that. In many cases, we were requiring 72 jabs for our beautiful, healthy, lovely, delicate little children, including giving the hepatitis B shot to infants and newborns on top of many other vaccinations. The hepatitis B shouldn't be given until they are 14 or 15 years old. They were given early. Effective immediately, my administration is recognizing gold standard childhood vaccine recommendations for only 11 core vaccinations against the most serious and dangerous diseases, along with the MMR, which hopefully will be split up. You have the MMR, we wanted in 3 separate vaccinations given at separate times. Together, there could be a possibility they're quite lethal, and separately, it looks like they are not at all lethal, but they're very effective. So the MMR, we want to have separate visits at separate times. The vaccine being broken into 3 separate single doses, and vaccines being administered in separate visits. For example, at 1 year, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than getting them all in the same day. And I saw this early on, and I've seen proof of it, where they have a vaccination that looks like the size of a bottle of soda poured into a little child's body. And bad things happen in too many cases. This is an explosion. This is an epidemic. So at year 1, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all in the same day. Very importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others, are no longer recommended for all children. In addition, this executive order directs the Attorney General to advance legal challenges against states that violate children's rights to religious or medical vaccination exemptions for the exemption.
Give me a second. Sorry, I was kind of doing something there.
You can say pigskin. You can say Broncos country. Let's ride. Whatever you want to say. You say I'm with you. I got to put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah,
I got to put my foot in my mouth. Hey, you can put your robe on too.
I don't know, but to like really Wayne said, didn't really like look at us. I was kind of like doing something. So we're playing 72 jazz for our beautiful, healthy, lovely, dedicated little children. Affected merely my administration's recognizing gold standard child vaccine recognition for only 11 full vaccinations against the most serious dangerous with the MR. Okay. We'll see. See on that.
So when you become a Jazz fan,
See.
when you become a Jazz fan.
Giants.
I'm not a Giants fan. I'm a fan of Jackson Dart. And it's
Like I'm not like
No, he played for the Giants.
sorry,
So that
kind of
means you
like
root for
mine's
him.
fucked.
You root for him, you root for me.
Well, you know, I believe in vaccines.
Oh, yeah, okay, you root for
I
him,
think
you
should
root
go
for me.
to the individual. I don't think there should be any government requirement vaccine mandate or anything. It should go to the individual. So that's how I feel. Sorry, it's kind of doing something there. Not even worth it.
A simple principle. When it comes to the health of our children, government has an obligation to follow the evidence wherever it leads. Tell the American people the truth and give parents the information they need to make informed decisions for their families. Mr. President, you gave us a mandate to do just that. You directed HHS to examine America's childhood vaccine recommendations against the best available science and the practices of other nations. We did that work on January 5th. HHS and CDC overhauled the childhood immunization schedule, reducing the number of diseases universally recommended for vaccine from 17 to 11, and establishing distinct categories of recommendations based upon the scientific evidence. Our assessment found that the United States recommended more childhood than any other peer nation. President Trump mentioned the number of 72 jabs before 18, but action can be up to 94 jabs. And nobody else has anything like that. And many other countries, most other countries, achieve high vaccination rates through education, informed consent, and public trust rather than mandates. Today, with this executive order, we are building on that work and acting on that. We will preserve access to vaccines and to safety measures, expand research, give doctors and parents better information, restore informed consent and parental choice to their rightful place in American medicine. At HHS, we are already moving across multiple agencies, FDA, CDC, NIH, RBAC, NTP, the National Toxicity Program, and other parts of the department. We have already launched unprecedented research effort examining vaccine safety and long-term health outcomes in American children. We are putting some of the largest health data sets in the country to work, including CDC's vaccine safety data link, FDA's best systems, and other major federal and private health data sources. We're pursuing dozens of studies and analyses. We're comparing health outcomes in vaccinated versus unvaccinated children. We're examining aluminum adjuvants, timing of the hepatitis B vaccine.
It's hard to get that. It's hard to get all of a sudden you send it to
pregnancy and
you
outcomes
first
ranging
at
from
20. Man,
allergies,
you're not gonna make a
autoimmune
living.
disease to autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders.
There, you just as a charge for HSS who's denied like a lot of like vaccines. No, it's like the measles vaccine, polio vaccine, right? And they made a lot of cuts to the HSS and the CDC, and we have a fucking diarrhea epidemic, and it's clueless actually causing it. We have a measles epidemic, and he doesn't take any accountability for these all ages are illegal aliens, even though kids like Mr. Measles vaccine because of the COVID shutdowns and all the misinformation due to vaccines. So, but we have to wait and see.
Hey, the Broncos,
So,
got dinged a little bit. I was like,
yeah, so
I had that
Birdman
hand rule of the year.
Hold on. Russell the child of God, man. cross is a child of God. Now, if you ask one of God's people to come on that field, then the outcome might not have been what you thought. Yeah.
Hey,
what's this fascist?
I understand what you're saying.
I don't think we'll listen to like all these, right? It's just I've kind of summed it up. I'll probably look at a video of it, probably like on Fox. So, sorry. Shoot a second, sorry.
Sectional reveal. You might never believe
What's this shit?
But this sectional is from the lazy
Oh, it's
boy.
just about wrong. Let's see what this. See what he says for the millionth time. Let's go. Let's look.
You said this last round of talks was Iran's last chance before decapitation. So what now? What
You'll
is
find
next?
out. You'll find out.
Are you still a massive escalation? Is that still on the table?
Well, we have that certainly that ability if we want to do that. Well, you'll find
You
out.
said you're low keying
I
it.
think so.
Semi-negotiating. What exactly does that
They
mean?
asked for
He was 12 of 23.
reparations, you might say, or they asked
Zero
for
touchdowns. 3
money
interceptions.
for the damage they've done. I said, that's a good idea. Well, we're going to ask for money for the damage they've done over a 50-year period. Whether you go SS Cole or whether you go all of the people that were so badly hurt, so badly wounded or killed, many thousands of people, and maybe damages for the 52,000 protesters over the last 4 months that were killed in Iran.
That's why you
We think
keep your
their
mouth
families
shut.
should get damages for killing their person or their child, their mother, father, that were protesting. It's at least, it was 52,000 a month and a half ago. So now what is it? So if there's damages to be paid, I think Iran should pay those damages.
When you stand tall,
Like I said many times about the Iran, we have to like wait and see what happens. You know, I've heard him say, I've heard him say, like so many times that there's gonna be a peace deal, then Israel violates the like ceasefire or Iran. Trump gets pissed off, and
be playing at your best. You got
Trump gets pissed off. He starts attacking again, pisses Iran off. They keep saying, "Oh, we want to do a major attack." He calls off because they're manipulating the oil markets and the stock market. I'm just so tired of shit from my board, man. It just gets annoying after a while.
And say some of the things that are going on behind closed doors. Once he touched that goddamn field, he's that.
Trump signs the executive order to recognize gold standard child vaccine recommendations that maximum preference towards over vaccines. Vaccinations for your children, along with free chemicals of childhood immunizations with scientific evidence of best practice for peer countries. We'll see. Like I said, I think it should be up to the parents. I don't think it should be forced by the government. Like if their parents like want to give their kids like 100 vaccines, up to them. If they don't, that's like up to the individual. It's find that I believe in vaccines, but some people don't believe in vaccines. Some people do. Just have to like wait and see.
ID, I think they should pass proof of citizenship, basically Save America, Save America Act. I think that should be something that we should absolutely do.
Also, like I said many times, it's probably gonna take a while. Like the brand make compromises more likely. I think everybody should have a vote. I need a vote. You need ID for everything else. You need to vote. What's this?
Coach he called the quarterback on the first 2 plays.
Well, the one thing is we have jihadists being elected all over the place. We have this
He's on the DSA.
jihadism. It's a lot of friend of mine called up. He said, you should use the word jihadist because that's what's happening. And I'm not sure that anybody, if you take a look at what happens in other countries, I think that's not going to be necessarily the way we want to live. But when you look at the radicalism and the craziness of the candidates and the stupidity of what they're suggesting, let's get rid of the Supreme Court, let's get rid of the presidency, let's get rid of the Senate. They want to get, sometimes I'd like to get rid of the Senate too, but I don't say it. I wouldn't do it. But they want to get rid of the Senate. They want to get rid of, ideally, the House, but they're thinking about maybe keeping the House, Isn't that nice? These are people that have been not successful. They're people that have been, in many cases, failures. They come from other failed countries, and they come here and they tell us how to run our country. They come from places like, I won't mention because I don't want to get myself into controversy, but they come from countries that are not great. They come from, let's say, as an example, Somalia. They come in and then they tell us how our Constitution, how our Declaration of Independence, how it works. It doesn't work that way, and they're not smart. They have no aptitude. They have nothing going, and they're telling us how to run our country. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that they start off, now I may be wrong, they start off with a big disadvantage. People don't want to have radical lunatics involved in running our country. And that's what we have. We have people that are saying things that are so great. Now they're denying it. Or they say, well, I've changed my mind. They want to defund our police. They want to terminate our military. No military. We don't want any military in our country. We don't want our police to be paid anymore. They want our police down to like almost nothing.
Well, they think that the police are favored white supremacists. Like I said, it's just annoying that he's right what he's saying. That's the most annoying part. He's absolutely correct what he's saying here. I agree what he's saying there. But the problem is, he didn't stick with his campaign promises. That's the most annoying part. He just stuck with his fucking campaign promises. Didn't give us the war to Iran, didn't fix the cost of living, didn't do these reckless tariffs, made, the cost of living cheaper, made houses affordable, made groceries cheaper. It got rid of all these criminals, actually before these criminals, it had better leadership with ICE and stuff, and had more fucking content. Like Canada, cause out these wars and fix healthcare and brings accountability to the government. His approval rates will be super high, and the Republicans will be crucial for the midterms. The problem is he's done absolutely nothing. Besides him closing the border, he hasn't done nothing. He hasn't fixed the economy. Prices are still going up. Gas is still going up because the uncertainty, with the Iran war. Prices, went up last year, because of the tariffs. He's added almost $5 trillion to the debt last year with his bill. That has not worked out. They basically held the Epstein files, but most people didn't really, I cared. A lot of people, average people, didn't really. It's more online space that did, in my area. He didn't fix healthcare. He kicked 15 million people off of healthcare last year with that bill. We've had the government shutdowns, affected TSA workers. 40 million people almost lost their fucking SNAP benefits last year. He's pissed a lot of people off. He's like these TSA commie fucks are gaining traction because he hasn't done nothing. That's just the most annoyingest part. So I just wish he just kept his campaign promises. So some of the fucking shit.
Right now is the United States Navy. We have a blockade that's been infallible. It's a steel wall, and we let people in that we want to let in, and those people come in. They've been coming in and they're going out, so it's actually open now. We do not let them go into Iran. They're not admitted into the state to go to Iran, but it's open for others. Now, a little bit complex because they will, on occasion, drop a mine, and we find the mines. We've mine swept the entire state, as you probably maybe heard, maybe you didn't hear, but we control the state 100%. Now, can they make trouble? Yeah, they can make trouble. But they're broke. They have no money. Iran is broke, totally broke.
They're not broke.
And they're not paying their soldiers.
They're not broke.
They have inflation of 300% as of last night.
That's misleading.
So we'll see what happens, but they've been bad for, they say 47, it's actually 50 now. 47, they've been saying it for 3 years. But for 50 years, they've been the bully of the Middle East. What they've done is terrible. They've killed hundreds of thousands of people. They've killed people, they've wounded and maimed people with the legs, the arms, with the roadside bomb is their bomb. They're very proud of it. And now they're paying a price. Thank you very much, everybody.
It's just the same old usual bullshit. Iran came out yesterday, said the strait will be closed till 2020, till January 20th of 2029. So they basically the straight because, till when Trump leaves fucking office, man. I just get so tired of him constantly saying the straits open, the straits closed, it's just gonna make it. The straits close like fucking 2029, we're gonna have like a fucking oil energy crisis like the 70s. We only have like 300 million barrels of fucking oil. That's not a lot of oil. We went for a shit ton of oil, because it's like conflict. The also shut down the strait just made, off like charge like tolls, and they attacking vessels. He just completely fucked it up. It's stupid. Alright, go look at the articles. Trying to find some good ones. Trump demands Iran's compensate Americans and protesters after Tehran seeks war reparations. I guess we go look at this. Because we're not really telling the Iran war that much anymore. Because there's just nothing fucking happening. Obviously, everyone, MOU that back in June. So, and obviously, fucking Christ, dude, I don't.
Just like, how did they know that meeting took place in Philly?
Oh, yeah. It was funny between people.
Sorry.
How the hell everybody else know?
President Trump on Monday demanded that Iran compensate Americans killed or seriously wounded in attacks he blamed on Tehran, while also calling for payments to the families of the Iranian protesters killed by the regime. The president also said he instructed his representatives to raise his compensation demands in any future negotiations with Iran. Trump remarks came after senior Iranian officials demand compensation from Washington as a part of Tehran's conditions for reopening the Strait of Hormuz. I see that the representatives of the Islamic Republic of Iran are asking for compensation for the damage done to them during the last 5 months. Military conflicts are because they will not have a nuclear weapon, even though it's mentioned in any negotiations or meetings from True Social. Call Iran's request compensation a interesting idea before saying he would also demand compensation from Iran for all the people that they have killed and gravely wounded with their roadside bombs in many conflicts, for which they are famously also led by General Soleimani, including the families of those killed on the U.S. coal and thousands of others killed in combat. Visually, compensation should be paid to the families of the hundreds of thousands of innocent protesters that Iran has killed over the last 50 years. Not mentioning the 52 that have been killed in the last 5 months, he wrote. I have instructed my representatives to put this firmly in any at all future negotiations, Trump wrote. In a second True Social post, Trump said Iran should also be responsible for the damage to the damage caused of Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, Gaza. Following these two posts, Trump revisited the topic during executive orders signed at the White House, and they confirmed that Tehran had demanded reparations. They've asked for reparations, you might say. Trump told reporters to the Oval Office, or they have asked for money for the damage that we've done. I said that's a good idea. Well, we're going to ask for money for the damage they've done for a 50-year period, he said. Trump added, so if there are damages to be paid, I think Iran should pay those damages. One Supreme National Security Council said over the weekend that the Strait of Hormuz would remain closed until the United States corrects behavior. Stating out a series of conditions for reopening the strategic waterway. New Mohammed Bagar, Sabah, guy's last name, sorry. Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council also set out conditions for reopening the strait, including end to U.S. military operations and threats that lifting of sanctions, to release of frozen Iranian assets and compensation for war damage according to the reports. The Supreme National Security Council will never back down, whether in a war or in negotiations, Sakharov said on August 8th. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Arghari said in Iran and Oman that we're very close to reaching a deal on shipping routes through the strait, but also he said there would be conditions, including compensation of what Trump says were U.S. violations of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. Reuters reported Trump on Monday also declined whether Iran has changes to reach a deal with the United States. Some reports at the White House. You'll find out when asked whether the last round of talks was Tehran's last chance before the decapitation strikes. Trump said, "You'll find out. You'll find out."
It's bad. This is coming from a Miami Raiders, a Dolphin fan.
Well, you have to. You'll find out. He repeated it. Trump also said Sunday that U.S. was only semi-negotiating with Iran. Just give me a second. Like I said before many times, we have to wait and see. I don't expect anything with the Iran stuff anymore. Never really did, but I just lost trust. Both sides just full of shit. Trump's full of shit. Iran's full of shit. The only reason I did the negotiations, so because over the economy, and really now the strait. Trump doesn't really care about nuclear weapons anymore. He just cares about keeping the way the strait open. He knows they fucked up let Iran close the strait. But no, wait and see, man. Like I said, I just don't know. It's kind of like I said, I don't think there's gonna be an end to the war. I think it's gonna keep going for a very long time because both sides can't negotiate on how they want the strait to be opened, but the nuclear programs are also ready to get clear. We just kind of basically just we can go look at this one thing. It's mainly just about the economy for it. President Trump is signaling, at least for now, he's prepared to let mount pressure on Iran to do more of the work and rapidly expand military action against Iran. We are simulating negotiations with them. We're just watching Iran with a huge inflation. They have no money. Trump told Axios Rapid interview Sunday. Axios reported August 9th that Trump described the U.S. approach as low-key and said Iran was struggling to pay its troops. Trump has argued that the U.S. naval blockade on the Strait of Hormuz has compounded Iran's financial crisis. His comments came after weeks in which the administration repeatedly raised the possibility of renewed large-scale military action. But as the administration increasingly points to Iran's financial distress as leverage, a more complicated question is emerging: how much of Iran's economic crisis is a result of the sanctions, the war blockade, and how much stems from decades of corruption, economic mismanagement, spent decision by the Islamic Republic itself. Trump reinforced the message on Truth Social Sunday, crying that Iran had shown 51 years of bad behavior. Give me a second.
All those jokes, yeah.
Yes, Riley. At some point in time, you gotta say enough. I mean,
While sharing a graphic deceptive the Iranian rail, Steve declined the graphic with solid Iran has no money and described the currency as trash. The economic pressures increasingly viable in the daily lives of ordinary Iranians, and investigations pushed by the Iranian newspaper Jan Saint last week described supermarket workers encountering cutters who allegedly shot with basic groceries, including bread, cheese, meat, or e-packaged food inside stores because they could no longer afford it. The accounts offered a stark glimpse of the strain on Iranian household as prices rise, as purchasing power erodes. Washington, meanwhile, has intensified its campaign against Iran's revenue streams under what the Treasury Department calls economic theory. The administration, as fuck, I don't feel that great today. As target Iran's oil trade. Fucking Christ. Fucking Christ. I don't keep doing that. I can't. Shadow banking networks, weapons, procurement operations, and cryptocurrency, all in sanctions, evasions, infrastructure. Treasury said June 10th that the campaign had prevented tens of billions of dollars in revenue for being accessible to the Iranian regime. Its proxies on July 29th, Treasury said that FAC had sanctioned more than 100 vessels linked to Iran's shadow fleet since the beginning of 2026. A Treasury spokesperson told Fox News digital background the economic fear has left the regime desperate for cash. Iran's economy is in a free fall, inflation is skyrocketing, and as President Trump said on Sunday, the regime's ability to pay insurance has been decimated, the spokesperson said. A U.S. official told Fox News on background that the administration still views economic pressures as one part of the broader strategy. President Trump has always been clear that they'll never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, while he's been consistent, saying he refers to diplomatic solution. He continues to retain all options of Iran, continues to engage terrorism, and refuses to make a deal. The official said the United States is strangling what's left of Iran's economy, while with one of the most successful naval blockades in history, Iran would be wise to appeal, and otherwise they know it will happen. Saad Maliki's senior fellow at the Foundation of Defense of Democracies and former Treasury Department sanctions officials said that the pressure has accelerated Iran's economic decline, but urged that Iran's policies create many of the underlying variables. I'm sorry.
What he can do and what he showed you he can do, he showed it with the quarterback carousel with the Steelers. He showed he can do it in a consistent, confident offense with a good quarterback.
Sanctions in the war we have celebrated Iran's economic decline both are consequences the regime troublemaking its nuclear branching and missile drone stack on tankers and supports for terror proxies, not causing both on the innocent bystander Melky told Fox News. It's a government basic responsibility to fight for and serve its nation. This regime has instead served a failed revolutionary ideology that has produced nothing but suffering for ordinary Iranians. The police said the deeper story can be bankers arguing that even when sanctions ease and oil revenues increase, Iran continues directly significant resources toward its security establishment and Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. According to the Central Bank of Iran's national accounts, data provided by Malachi to Fox News, Iran's military share of the total government spend rose from 60% in 1993 to 52% by 2006, while education spending fell from 27% to 15%. Spending on health and social affairs also declined as share of government expenditures. He said, Melgali pointed to the 2020 budget. As an example of the disparity, the RGC received approximately $6.96 billion compared to $2.7 billion for Iran's larger conventional military, known as the RGC, roughly 2.5 times as much. According to the analysis published by the United States into a piece Iran Premier based on figures from Iran's Parliamentary Research Center, the issue is not simply that Iran spends heavy on defense. Malachi said is that an oil-dependent economy repeatedly directed enormous resources towards the military and IGC, while basic public services and ordinary households were under increasing pressure, and the official budget captures the. Oh my god, I'm not feeling that great. I'm gonna fucking die, to be honest with you. Just give me a second. Just fucking, you guys have to give me a minute. I don't feel that great.
You double Michael, Alvin Harper's gonna make you pay on the backside. You got a Jay Novacek and Jay Ferguson, sure-handed.
You're like this whole fucking night tonight, man.
Not the best blocker, but you know what? We ain't brought you here to block. We brought you here to catch. Right. Keep us first down. Keep the chains moving. And touchdowns. And he had a touchdown catch in his fourth straight game. Javante had his second 100-yard rushing game, 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's healthy. I loved him coming out of North Carolina. And he had a good, early year with the Broncos, but he hurt his knee. And then he came back, and he wasn't the same. Unless you Adrian Peterson, it normally takes you a year and a half for that knee to get right. Now they got the guy that's a year and a half removed from that surgery, and now this is when the Broncos selected him in the second round, this is what they thought. And now the Cowboys got. But the Cowboys look good. Now we got to talk about Jay Daniels. He was 12 and 22, 156 with a touchdown. Ended up tweaked his hamstring. We'll see. He'll get an MRI tomorrow. We'll see the extent of that. I don't know how far they can go without
Mariota is showed he can play some good ball. He can string off some wins, but he's too up and down. Huh? You don't know which H you get. Yeah. You don't know which H you're gonna get. But obviously, he coming in and starting in a game where you haven't had many reps with the ones and being thrown in the fire. You have to get yourself in the rhythm. You gotta get yourself going. Obviously, you're not acclimated to the speed of the game. You're not acclimated to the forward jump.
Sorry about that.
You know the play. You know what you're supposed to do.
Oh man, Michael Gus has been up and down all day today. It's annoying. Be glad when I change my phone. An official budget captures the spending. Also, signed both his experience at the Treasury Department. Outside research said the RGC benefits from significant commercial and off budget resource. A 2017 American Enterprise Institute study estimates that the IRGC so-called gray budget could add another 50% to 100% to its military outlays. Ultimately, the responsibility lies with external pressure, but with structural corruption, chronic economic mismanagement, and spend priorities fundamentally detached from the ordinaries of Iranians' needs in the country's economic development. I said that influence extends far beyond military spending. The IRGC has also built a spiraling economic apparatus, which is control over major sources and revenue. And critics argue at least partially well positioned to profit from the Alchemy Channel. Sanctions create its economic arm, Councilman by construction headquarters became a major force in the Iranian economy after the Iraq War, expanded across construction, energy, and infrastructure. The Treasury Department assigned Katahem Al-Anabaya in October 2007, described as an emergency engineering arm used to generate income and fund organizations' operations. The Treasury acknowledged that Iran is increasingly turning to OPEC financial channels to curriculum funds. U.S. pressure, but argued that those networks are themselves becoming targets of the campaign. The regime is increasingly having to defend new ways to try to evade U.S. sanctions through shadow banking networks, including through exploiting crypto. The Treasury spokesperson continues to monitor aggressively dismantle these networks to ensure Iran cannot sustain this campaign terror and regional destabilization. On August 7th, Treasury announced separate sanctions against cryptocurrency exchanges that said were being used to finance the RGC against international currency networks that said removed hundreds of millions of dollars in Iran for Iran. God fucking damn it! Sorry, I'm trying to do something. Fucking Christ! Oh God, this is getting annoying every fucking day. Every fucking day. Shit, sorry. Murad Talibis, an Iranian American conservationist who has spent nearly 6 years in prison in Iran, being in prison before being released with 400 Americans since September of 2023, said sanctions have effectively created what he describes as a lucrative franchise for those controlling the channels through money and good moves. They have created huge franchise for themselves because of these sanctions. Taliban stole Fox News. Money can flow freely to the Iranian government treasury because of the sanctions. So what happened? Everything is a black market, gray market, illegal smuggling from the oil to everything else coming in and out. And of course, the people who are hurt by most of this are the people of Iran, and they're unfortunately taking the brunt of all of this in their daily lives. Taliban said the enrichment of the RGC-linked economy itself complicated efforts to end the confrontation because those profiting from restricted financial channels have incentive to pressure them. Jesus Christ, they want to see the sanctions go away because they lose their franchise. If you will, he said. They will lose their power, their control over the money and everything that goes along with it. Taliban said the economic interest created by the sanctions also helped explain some of the international tensions with Iran. This is going to be a battle on inside Iran. When you hear these sanctions with infections, he said, I think to see a solution to this war, if you will, have to look to what's happening in Iran. He said the Treasury said it maintains same operations. He intends to limit sanctions effort on ordinary Iranians, including certain humanitarian trade, development, agriculture products, medicine, and medical devices, non-commercial personnel, revenue, and communications-related software, hardware, services, OFAC. Also considers additional requests on the case of case-by-case basis. The spokesperson said the operations are contained of the OFAC regulations and general license. Jeez, that's a lot to read, man. So if I was Iran, I would want to make a deal with Trump, so all the sanctions could go away. Also, the sanctions we've done to Iran, for the last 40 years, have really fucked up their economy. And also what's really fucked up their economy is, the IRGC, getting funds to do their Terry proxies, and they're making it illegal blind market trades in crypto just to fund their Terry proxies with all the sanctions. People in Iran have to shoplift because their currencies literally worth nothing. I think their inflation rate was 80%. That's crazy, super crazy. But the economy's still bad here. Gas prices are higher, inflation's going up here. There's could be a potential oil crisis because of the Strait of Hormuz being closed. So we just have to wait and see what happens. I hope the Iran war ends, because I think it's been a fucking disaster for the economy. It's been a disaster for the military. It's been a disaster for the Gulf countries too. So it's been that disaster on us and the Iranian people too. So see what happens. Also, lots of raid, man. Jesus Christ. Fix it.
To me, that's a touchdown. They're so inconsistent with that call. I don't know what a touchdown.
All right, slip some more points. U.S. Department has yanked more than 175,000 feet under Trump administration. So we'll go look at this. I did see this. I'm going to look at that. I saw that earlier. The U.S. State Department announced on Monday that it has revoked more than 175,000 visas during President Trump's administration so far. The announcement comes less than 2 years. Trump started his second term. Under President Trump, the United States Department of State has revoked more than 175 visas from foreign nationals who violated the terms of their visas, committed crimes, and called for violence against citizens and defrauded Americans, abused our immigration or endangered national security. The State Department noted the majority of these visas were revoked due to the law enforcement encounters for a range of activity, with assault, driving under the influence, theft, and drug crimes being the leading case. A significant share of visas were revoked for reckless driving, sexual assault, child abuse, fraud, embezzlement, and other crimes, according to the department. The department pointed to some examples. Individuals who allegedly committed heinous crimes. It's indicated that some of the individuals who visas were revoked, including a foreign national who was charged with felony rape and sexual battery, including a victim who was mentally disabled, a foreign national charged with felony kidnapping, human trafficking, sexual exploitation of a minor. The department has also pointed to the issue of birth tourism. A U.S. embassy in North Africa revoked around 100 visas for birth tourists, parents who came to the United States to give birth so their children would get U.S. citizens. The department. You know who I'm talking about? There's somebody in the streaming space who was born in New Jersey, went back to Turkey for 18 years, and came back here just for college and constantly spreads communist terrorist propaganda. I'm not going to mention his name. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. He's a big streamer. You don't know who he is. For me, to talk every day now. You know what I'm talking about. Under President Trump and Secretary Rubio's leadership, the State Department will continue to identify, investigate, and revoke visas of foreign nationals who threaten the safety of the American people. A U.S. visa is a privilege, not a right. The department remains committed to use every tool available to protect our communities from those who abuse the department declared. Yeah, I agree with it. Hey, if they're removing people that are doing sex trafficking and human trafficking, or like like kidnap people. Yeah, fucking get rid of their feces. Get out of the country. Fuck them. Like, I know they can't do it. So I wish they could just do it with Hasan, but sadly they can't. I just kind of wish they can, but I know it's not gonna happen. But for the ones that were like doing like kidnapping or committing like fraud or doing like serious like drug trafficking, sex trafficking, human trafficking, yeah, they need to be out of the country. Basically, like if if they like if the administration like revoking Andrew Tate's here and Trisha Tate's visa for human trafficking and sex trafficking, that would be absolutely police. I think they're cancers. I don't know why they are in the country to begin with. They go back to fucking Romania. Dude, get out of my country, piece of shit. So I know the only fucking dumbass incels that like you are all fucking losers, but you shouldn't be in the country. So Fauci suggested officials were too slow to pivot to pandemic, says Dr. Mark Siegel. We go look at this as well. About Fauci. Obviously, Fauci, testified 2 weeks ago. He put the fifth 111 times. Then he got subpoenaed. Well, he basically got held at the Senate last week. Had the votes to hold Fauci in contempt. It goes to the DOJ. The Florida Attorney General is trying to launch an investigation into it. So we have to wait and see if that happens. It'll probably not happen, but who knows? Someone the balls actually put him in jail. I hope they do. We have to wait and see. Obviously, these diaries came out a couple weeks ago. People have been reading them. I haven't really read them yet at the time. I think it's over 1,000 pages or something like that. So we have to see. Maybe one day on stream I just read them. I don't know. See. Newly released text messages from Dr. Anthony Fauci have sparkled fresh questions about his handling of evolving COVID-19 evidence, according to Dr. Mark Siegel, Fox News senior medical analyst. The texts are a part of it. Initial batch of communications from Fauci's government-issued cell phones released Monday by Senator Ron Johnson and Rand Paul. The message shed light on private discussion between Fauci and other top health officials as they navigated following questions around the COVID pandemic. I like just call it COVID. It's just easy to call them the full fucking thing. Just give me a second again. Phone's fucked up. In a Monday evening interview, Siegel suggested the former White House Chief Medical Advisor was at times too dogmatic and still too that they decided to fall off. I'm not that surprised. Give me a second. Siegel said Fauci was a top immunologist. Sorry, not a top factologist, and I respect that's a lot. He said, then he felt Fauci then ventured beyond those areas of expertise. The other issue, responsibility I have a feeling about Dr. Fauci that is too dogmatic. Siegel told Fox News and that Fauci would stick to some idea that he has and follow it through regardless of contrary and changing evidence. Siegel said he believed Fauci feared into territory beyond his medical training and knowledge on issues including lockdowns and closures and masking. So it's not surprising that he would, for a lack of a better word, flip-flop on those areas. He said, regarding new release texts, Siegel said it looks like he was trying to guide under public officials and under leaders from the television camera, and that's not what you should be doing. Among the issues addressed in the newly released provides a strong support of vaccines, including mRNA Technology, I'm a big fan of COVID vaccines. In the mRNA COVID vaccines, the doctor said, I think they're getting a bad rap right now. Pregnancy presents a complicated calculation between COVID itself poses dangers to expectant mothers. Siegel noted early in the pandemic. He said recommending vaccinations during pregnancy was reasonable based on what was known at the time. But as the virus changed,
French to me, right? I took French. So I'm going to pronounce it as if it's French.
And the vaccines became less protective. Siegel said he believes public discussion should have changed with it. As the vaccines changed and the virus mutated, and as the vaccines became less protective, that needed to be entered into the public debate about the vaccine, and Dr. Fauci wasn't fast enough to do it. Siegel said. Siegel is pointed to a study that raises questions at the time about the potential link between a second vaccine dose and an early miscarriage. I don't think that Dr. Fauci and others may have been quick enough to consider that, he said. While subsequent research has continued to support vaccinations during pregnancy, Siegel said the acclimation of data right now favors the vaccine for pregnancy. He questioned whether the contrary evidence receives significant consideration as it emerged. As a little eyebrow raised in the media, it appears that he was trying to dismiss a study suggesting miscarriage. It could be concerned, Siegel said. More broadly, such a decision should rest with patients and their doctors, while emphasizing that the underlying medical data was not surprising to the doctor. I don't like when the government superimposes their views, especially if they're incorrect or they're ill-informed, but I still think it should be between the patient and the doctor, said Siegel. Siegel argued that another problem came when policies failed to adjust quickly enough to change the evidence about the vaccines' effectiveness. I think the problem was the mandates continue, he said. We are too slow to pivot on this vaccine. That led a lot of public distrust. As however, he saw a meaningful difference between what Fauci was discussing privately and what Americans were really publicly. Siegel said there was more than I would like. The difference between public and private discourse. Here, he said there should be none. In additional measures early, Siegel said that he would be watching how Fauci's guidance evolved along the evidence. I'm looking at one thing, where was the evolution of guidance and thought and staying within your lane, and more information came out. He said, or did this develop more and more in dogma and megalomania? I don't know. That's what I'm concerned about. At the same time, Siegel cautioned against judging pandemic-era communications without considering what science knew at the time. To be fair to Dr. Fauci, thinks we need to remain in context. He said when this happened, what's going on at the time, what we know now, what we know, what we did not know. At Siegel, we're learning on the job. We are learning as we went. We know nothing about this thing, and it just blew all over us. That uncertainty, he said, made a willingness to change. All more important, humility is the best way to go. Not that man. It was very interesting. Yeah, like obviously, when COVID first, came out, no one knows what to fucking do. That's why, like Trump, listens to Fauci, because Fauci claimed that he didn't suggest Trump to shut down the country. He literally told Trump to shut down the fucking country, and Trump, listened to him. He said, "All right, I'll shut down the country. I'll leave it up to the states." and he did that. Like I said, it's just weird that Fauci was still mishandling documents, and he was all this research back in 2009 to the Netherlands. And Fauci didn't realize that the COVID vaccine could cause miscarriages with pregnant women. So there's kind of, I think they need to kind of look into that. Like I said, I didn't get COVID vaccine. One, I'm 20 years old. And also, I just didn't feel like I needed it. I felt like I was healthy enough where I didn't need it. But I'm not saying the COVID vaccine's bad or anything. I'm not saying that. I just wish that I wish it wasn't rushed, because normally it takes 5 to 10 years to vaccine release, because they have to do tests, they have to do medical clinical trials with with their vaccines. They didn't do any clinical trials with this. They just really pushed out. I understand why Trump wanted to do the vaccine, because a lot of people were dying. He didn't want more people to die. Obviously, over 1.2 million people, died. If the vaccine had come out, maybe 5 million people would have died in the country. So I get why you're trying to do it. It just wasn't thought out all the way. I think they need to look why some people with the vaccines would get miscarriages and all that stuff with pregnant women. Hopefully they look at that. Someone found to investigate, because he knew a lot about it. He was fully confidential information with COVID. He did research. He was doing fucking research of this back in 2009, and it's just, I don't know. We'll see. They probably won't do an investigation because their government's full of pussies, but who knows? There's not really a lot to look at. I've looked at 2 Iran articles. I don't really care. If there's not a lot more articles to look at, then we're gonna go straight into the Fox News videos, because I'm gonna look at some other stuff too. Or it's not really a lot of articles to really look at. We looked at a couple. They weren't really that great today. Hopefully, just better articles tomorrow, which is kind of whatever, But we'll look at 3 Fox News videos. Then we'll look at this one we go do. We're gonna look at 3 Fox News videos. Then we'll look at we'll look at the parts where they're Piers Morgan mentions talks about Hasan. Then we will also, I won't finish it today. Also, I'll probably finish the rest of it till tomorrow. Hunter Biden was on Tucker. We'll watch the first half today, then watch the second half tomorrow, I kind of did with when Chase Vance was on Joe Rogan. So that's my plan. I did watch the 5. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I watched the 5. I'm not looking anymore around shit. I'm kind of over it. Trying to see. We go look at this. This is more the DSA madness.
Bringing the player along slow. But hell, we going into week 7. Well, we going into week 8. Should we halfway through the season?
There's Marfa.
Listen, brother Liam Cohen, he know better than me.
He got a great offensive mind because
Fox News definitely hires hot chick. She's good looking. She's your early. It's kind of crazy. She's 62. So yeah, we'll be covering that tomorrow. We'll cover that. Hopefully it's not too long. The last the one with El Sayed, they can't see it's going for hours. We'll look at this one tomorrow. Cover it. So.
Caleb Williams, 15 of 26, 172 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception.
Oh my God!
19 carries,
what?
40 rushes, 200.
Jesus Christ! How is she gonna be able to do all of that? There's no concept with these fucking people. I'll give him I'll give my opinion on this, once this is done, okay? This is that's just ridiculous.
To overcome your mistakes. Rush is 17 carries, 44 yards for the Saints.
Is this chick even from
Fitzgerald
here?
also lost a fumble. So
She's clearly not from here.
That'll beat you.
Saints had to overcome
Yeah,
more turnovers.
that'll get you.
Chris Olave had one of his better games. 5 catches, 98 yards, a touchdown. Johnson, 5 for 79.
I'll look her up later.
Shaheed, I needed one more catch.
I am not falling for him, dude. I am not falling for him. Fuck, man, I don't like Ken Paxton. God damn it, dude. I don't like Ken Paxton. I can't. He's terrible. They call for terrible. Well, midterms in 85 days, guys. Jesus. Get closer.
It brings balance. Boom.
I am definitely looking forward to covering it.
So it makes throwing the ball that much easier. I know Caleb Williams did have an interception, but outside of that, he played somewhat of a clean game outside of the interception. And they did what they needed to do to win the game. They're 4-2. I'm not sure when the last time the Bears have been 4-2 and looked this good offensively. They played in the goddamn rainstorm last week, won the game. They come back this week. I know they're playing the Saints. A lot of people say, "Oh, that okay. You playing the Saints? They're not that good." I told y'all. I told you.
Damn.
Teams. That maturation.
Yeah, it's not good if the two fucking tankies are not supporting you.
Johnson,
Even they probably think you're too much of a fucking retard.
With his creativity. All right. It just started.
Yeah. And Rabbit had 3 interceptions. I see Edmonds had one. He's a linebacker. And Montez Sweat, he had one. He's a DN.
God, she's such an annoying bitch. God, ALC is so annoying. She hasn't done anything since has one fucking legislation under Biden. She hasn't done anything since she just talks.
I don't know if that's his first name. He had one. They just, Ocho, the Saints are not good enough to overcome more turnovers. There are not very many teams
I know this guy is.
that can overcome.
I didn't even talk about this guy. Every time the fucking tanky chick.
Maybe two.
It all depends on when they turn the ball over and where they turn it over.
They can score in a high volume. They can score in a high volume.
Let me ask you a question. Who they playing if they turn the ball over?
Now that matters too. Now that matters as well.
You turn the ball over against the Cowboys. You turn the ball over against the Chiefs.
Man, you might well pack your bags early.
Turn the ball over 4 times against the Colts.
Pack your bags early.
Exactly. The Patriots beat the Titans in the Revenge Bowl. Drake May threw for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vrabel's first game against the franchise that fired him back in January of 2024. They did a number. They did a number on him today. Cam Ward fumbled for the second consecutive game. He has 5 fumbles this season, and he threw a pick.
Well, I love brother Cam Ward, but the same issues that we had and the same conversation we had with Will Levis and turning the ball over and not giving the team a chance. Cam Ward is
actually Cam Ward is worse. If you go look at the number through the same stars,
he barely won. I thought he was going to lose for a minute.
You got to give your team a chance.
And Ocho, you and I talking about it, bro. You can't keep turning the ball over. You can't keep giving up these pick sixes. You can't keep putting. I
think this Holland chick's more dangerous than El Sayed, in my opinion. El Sayed's got some charisma. He's got charisma. I give him that. He's still got charisma. Kind of Trump. They both got charisma, but this shit just gives me fucking psycho vibes. Crazy vibes.
Y'all know what he said. We
ass. Hey, but listen, like too, when you say stuff like that, your play has to be up to par. You can't be part of the problem. You got to be part of the solution.
Through 6 games, their first 6 games of their career, Cam Ward has thrown for 101 yards.
There he goes.
Will Levis had 1266. Cam Ward has thrown 3 touchdowns. Will Levis had 7. Cam Ward had thrown 4 interceptions. Will Levis 2. Fumbles lost. Cam Ward 4. Will Levis 2. Sacks. Cam Ward 25.
Already?
Will Levis 19.
He got sacked 25 times already?
Oh, heading into
God
that.
dang.
It's more now. How many times he got? Oh, now he's gotten sacked 30 times. He got sacked 5 times today.
Jesus Christ.
So we can add a touchdown to him. He got 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and he got another fumble loss.
Well, listen, hey, whoever got the Titans on their schedule, that's like a homecoming game. That's the game. That's the game you want to play, but you know you're gonna get your win. Hey, the Titans and the Jets. If you got the Titans and the Jets on your schedule, you might well chalk that up as a win.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry about Ward. He with us.
Hey, listen, you're gonna have game.
Nah. Y'all didn't want Mike Vrabel.
It wasn't Mike.
They fired Mike Vrabel.
It's his rookie year. This is rookie year. Do we give him some grace because he's a rookie? Okay. Okay.
But stop talking.
Okay.
Stop talking. Because you make yourself look bad when you go out there and play like that.
If you do,
Rick Day made the Patriots.
well, Drake made nice, bro.
Yeah.
Drake made nice.
Ocho, 21 of 33, 21 of 23 is the highest completion percentage in Patriots history. 21, I think he completed 16 straight, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did get sacked 4 times, but he didn't turn the ball over. Stephon Diggs, 7 for 69. Keyshawn, is it?
Oh man, it's fucking
I'm not
hilarious.
sure how to pronounce it the right way.
He's right. Hassan is fucking racist. He hates white people. He's definitely Islamic. Well, he's a fucking terrorist. We all know Hassan's a terrorist supporter. You know, he's a fucking weirdo, so he's a cunt. Fuck Hassan.
And Chase on.
Yeah. Dude. I wonder this policy, this chick's policies. Let me go find it. Good God, you're so stupid. We're gonna look at this. This is what she wants. Public option for healthcare coverage. How are you gonna pay for that? You realize your taxes are gonna go up for this. This is considered Medicare for all. You realize with Medicare for all or free healthcare, your taxes are gonna go up. It's gonna be taking out your fucking wages. So it's another tax increase. State-run public banks and grocery stores. So basically, government-run banks and government-run grocery stores. Yeah, how's that? That ain't gonna go well. Just they tried one in Kansas City. It shut down. There was major food shortages. A lot of rationing. It's going to happen in New York. Repeal the right to work law. That's just fucking stupid. $20 minimum wage. You realize they're going to, with the raising the minimum wage to $20, you have to. It's going to make it's going to make production more expensive, and the companies are going to have to lay off a lot of their employees because they're going to have to raise their prices. It'll make their labor costs go up, and make cuts to in fast food stores. Everything's going to go up. Just give me a second. Jesus, these fucking songs are terrible. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. Then a new tax rate for millionaires and corporations. So basically just another fucking tax increase. Even though they paid 36% of the current taxes in the country. But these clowns don't understand that. state IDs for illegal aliens. So basically, just free fucking amnesty without background, without doing any background checks or due process or anything like that. So she's just a fucking dipshit, basically. She's more likely she'll win her primary because people up there are stupid, but she won't win the general. Like I said, now before tankies would rarely win their primaries because how stupid we were. But Sauron, is kind of like changed that outcome, last year. But normally these fucking tankies don't win their general elections because they have to rely on independents, and the independents are not gonna fucking vote for them. It's just not gonna happen. Also, I don't like Elsai either. Elsai is a fucking bad person. He's a piece of shit. He's a liar. He's definitely a fucking radical, obviously, just look at all the stuff he said. But the only credit I'll give it Abdul Elsai, he's got charisma. I'd give him that. He does got charisma. He's kind of like the same charisma as Trump. He's a young guy. I give him that. Even though I think all his policies are stupid, well, he's got like charisma. She just has fucking scary vibes. I think she's more fucking wacko, in my opinion, than what El Sayed will be. That's just my opinion. She just gives me really bad vibes. For some fucking reason, she just gives me these crazy ass fucking weird vibes. I can't explain it. Just some of the shit she said about cancel Thanksgiving, say Thanksgiving is racist, how she says she wants to defund the police, and all that stuff. She's just another fucking psycho, both of them Hassan. Hassan says she can't be every these people because Hassan's a fucking tanky. Hassan says he wished that priests were abolished because he's a loser. Everybody knows that Hassan's a fucking piece of shit cunt. A loser. He's a, I can't say what I was going to say. But, I don't like him. I hate him. I hate his guts. Watch this one's about outside.
And so far, how it's turned out, things just haven't worked out.
It haven't. And at some point in time, we can't keep blaming everybody else, Ocho. We can't. I was a little concerned when he couldn't beat out Jake Fromm for the starting job in Georgia. I was like, well, damn.
Fuck. Don't feel like it.
Dang. Like Jake Fromm, no hell raising. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Joe Burrow. Okay, Trevor Lawrence. Okay, you
1.5 trillion debt to 3.0 trillion.
Okay, you can't.
While Paragon's to 4.3 trillion. There's 3.6 trillion. So come on. So it'll be 21,000, 50,000 per taxpayer. Jesus Christ, they're gonna take 21,000 out of the fucking taxpayers, dude.
I think they're gonna stick with Tyrod. Now I know Tyrod. They feel the bad spot. Tyrod they come in. And they know you.
Why should face always look like something so plastic, man? Jesus Christ.
Tweeted something last week, made it seem like, free Brees or something like that. I don't know what's going on there. But Justin Fields has got to do a better job. He's got to see the field better. He's got to process it sooner. Or he can't.
Well, yeah, he's a fucking piece. He's a loser, so.
You gotta be able to recall. You call it and spit it out, and when you see it, it's got to go. It's got to go. Yeah.
He's starting to wear suits now. It's kind of weird how John Fairman started to wear fucking suits, man. Dude, this guy's always wore hoods and shit. Now he's wearing suits.
Yes. I'm saying, Bryce Young, 15 to 25, 130. He did leave the game. Andy Dalton came in 4 of 7 for 60 yards. Both players were sacked. Bryce Young was sacked once.
Bro, that weighs so fucking hard. Jesus Christ, it's just hot Lake Fest.
9 for 92.
It's hot Lake
100 yards.
Fest.
And remember, Ocho, he caught that one that
Yeah.
sealed it.
Yeah. Hey, I told y'all, hey, chat, don't try to jump on the bandwagon now.
I would make
Don't
out
try to
with
jump on
her.
the bandwagon now.
Your two teams, Bears and the
Before the season started, I told you there are going to be two teams that y'all need to watch. There are going to be two teams that y'all need to watch. I said it was the Chicago Bears because they got Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. It's going to be a beautiful marriage. Right now, I think the Bears sit 4-2 if I'm not mistaken. Now the Carolina Panthers, nobody believed in us, but I believed in us.
Smile.
I talked about Bryce Young, Brother Hunter Winfro.
They are frauds. Of course they are. They're champagne socialists, man. Like Hassan's a champagne socialist.
A TD to seal the game. I'm telling you, JC Horn. Boy, I see you. I see you. Hey, one of the better corners in the league, especially when it comes to man-to-man. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Don't think I'm not going to go change that Madden rating. I see you. I know Brother Canella's got to be smiling from ear to ear, man.
Carolina's defense sacked the Jets quarterback 6 times for 33 yards of losses.
Hurts so Fuck, I don't feel like great.
Carolina 4-3.
Hey,
they're in second place. They're tied for second place. Well, I think Atlanta. Well, it might be in front of Atlanta. Obviously, Tampa's in first place. We'll see what happens with Tampa tomorrow as they play.
hey, that's going to be a good game.
But Carolina 4-3.
Yeah.
Jets fall to 0-7. Chiefs BTA the Raiders 31-0. Rasheed Rice came back on the field, and my homeboys and Andy Reid didn't waste any time getting him
at all.
The Chiefs look really. This is the best the Chiefs looked in a while. And my homeboy started. He started to look like he did 4 years ago. Joe. Mahomes 26 and 35, 286, 3 touchdowns, clean game.
At all.
Pacheco, then he ran the ball 41 times, 152. Travis Kelce 3 catches, 54 yards. Rasheed Rice 7 catches, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. Smith had 5 for 42. Tyquan Thornton had 1 for 39. Juju 3 for 35. Xavier Worthy 3 for 35. Noah Gray 1 for 28. Hollywood Brown 2 for 14. And a touchdown.
Everybody getting in on the party, huh?
Gino, you gonna lose your job, bro. You keep this up. For 16, 67 yards. Hold on, Ocho. I want to read something to you. I want you to. And this was like the Jets were last week. The Raiders had 3 first downs. The Chiefs had 30 first downs.
Jesus Christ.
They were 0 of 7 on 3rd downs, 0 of 1 on 4th downs. They ran 30 total plays. The Chiefs had as many first downs as the Raiders had plays. Chat, you heard me correctly. The Chiefs had as many first downs, 30, as the Raiders had total plays, 30.
Yeah, that's it.
The Chiefs had 434 total yards. The Raiders had 95 total yards. The Chiefs possessed the football 42 minutes and 8 seconds. It's a 60-minute game. That means the Raiders possessed the football less than 18 minutes.
It's almost as if the Raiders is not an NFL team. It's almost as if the Raiders don't belong on the field with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, they didn't today. And then their best defensive player got hit in the knee and he went out, Matt Crosby. The Chiefs look
very.
Patrick Mahomes look good.
Hey,
Patrick Mahomes out there throwing no-look passes. You see him and Juju on the thing. Guy come, he jumping to Juju right now. They gonna get first down. Hollywood Brown is, cross the guy's face. I'm gonna hit you in the end zone. You'll get your G touchdown. But they're looking good. And when they're looking like this, and the defense is playing like they're playing, on Joe,
it's so funny. When the Chiefs started 0-2, everybody had something to say.
Yeah.
They look bad offensively. They look bad on defense. This ain't working. This ain't working. And now look, 4 weeks later, looking like the Kansas City Chiefs of old. Everybody back healthy. Now they having fun.
You hit the nail on the head. They got everybody back healthy. I mean, think about it. You got Rasheed Rice back, who's your number one. Xavier Worthy, who stepped up in the absence, and he grew. You get Tyquan Thornton, who all of a sudden, he looks like, okay, now I see why the Patriots took him in the second round. Yeah, he can run, but he can play. Now, he's not going to get the same opportunities that he got before because Rasheed Rice is back. But Juju is all reliable. They're gonna throw him in. They're gonna run smoke screen, jailbreak screen. They can do a lot of different things with Juju. 24 to run either running back and the receiver. You can do a lot of different things. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Scrambling and make plays. But the thing is, he's not turning the ball.
Yeah.
The football.
Republicans actually need to talk about policy. They can't just keep saying, "Oh, health science." Health science keeps saying, "Oh, we're for science." That's just not gonna work. Democrats for the last 10 years we're saying about Trump. Trump's Hitler. He's a fascist, and look what happened. He won the election. He needs to start talking about policy. He needs to stop talking about this person does this person does that, this person turned out, this person doesn't matter. It's I just wish they would actually talk about what they're going to do with fixing the economy, fixing healthcare, just out of the war in Iran. They're not talking about that. They're too busy talking about this other stupidity crap. So yeah. See if there's another one we can go watch. If there's not really a good one to watch, then we'll look at this one. We're gonna look at this one, then we'll look at the Piers Morgan one. So that's my goal. Sorry, I had to do something. Molly's doing something. Oh boy, let's do something.
You're not a valid driver?
What is your name now? Trigger. Okay, you're asking the person a question. Why do you need to copy someone's VIN number and license plate? Can you please tell me that? Why are they always on the phone, bro? You got not recording her. She doesn't want to tell me why she want to copy my license plate or anything like that. So can I please have your name and why you copy my information? I do have the right to know that.
I already have it. Thanks. Have a good day.
That ain't gonna work. Trust me. They tried that shit in Kansas City. It never worked. Never worked. Just full tanky shit. Never works.
This is my car. Don't touch me. I'm not touching you. Don't touch me. You see us? I'm touching myself and
Really? Just trouble.
This is so fucking
What's this person?
22nd team. Whatever the hell it's like duck.
What a fucking retard. I don't know what to say about these people, man. These people are special creatures, man. They are. No. They don't realize that corporations actually create the jobs like Walmart, HB, like Texas, like Target, Amazon, Kroger, Tom Thumb, UPS. It can go on and on. But the people owning those companies are billionaires, but they employ people every fucking year, man. That's capitalism, baby. Let's go capitalism. Risk, outcome, competition. That's capitalism. Yes. Go capitalism, by the way. Everyone knows what 86 means. Rid of is what you is. Everyone knows that. It's like big cow. So, well, some of it, some will say, oh, like 86, just, I don't want to talk about here because I'm just, I don't know if you'll see. I don't think you should say any, like, restaurant terms in politics because it's just, you get easily, misrepresented. You don't want to be like fucking Coleman. You might get indicted. You said a restaurant term. So. It is right. No point now. I'm really fucking James Carfield. That was basically clowned this guy last year, too.
I told you multiple times, can you pick your up?
Yeah. Yep, Cuba, South America, countries in South America, charted with the Soviet Union. What was like in Vietnam, Cambodia, it's a shithole. I keep going on and on.
Somehow I'm gonna get out of this. Meanwhile, I've been fucking down to the ground and can't. Oh no, what we got?
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna walk you through the touching me. I never just have to take her. Did I touch her? Did I touch her? Listen to the you're not gonna make this work, right? Stop. I'm gonna be let this other officer grab my here we go. Thank you so much.
pretty accurate. She hasn't done that much. She's only passed one piece of legislation in time in Congress. It's like during Biden. You know, she's like one of her endorsements, like during the like election, failed. Like they like win their fucking like general elections. She's just like a typical, you know, social media politician, clickbaity, like, you know, type. So.
Struggling with her father, but I'm still struggling with her. I see her. You're handcuffed. I'm gonna make sure you don't have any weapons on you.
Whenever you have like a dog, and the dog's like, what the fuck is going on? Shit, oh my god, okay. This is it, it's over. We had a good run, but it's over for me today. The world's about to blow up. This is the end of my life. Hold on, did dog, and you think you fucking bastard. You didn't look? You stupid reach. Wow, you are so, this must be so upsetting for you. Wow.
I don't really hear much from TV at Turn Point USA since Charlie Kirk stuff.
All I was trying to do is not really what I was trying to do. She's like, this is her house. So I didn't see her to go with her. It's turned into this whole thing. And when I'm trying to put her in cuffs, she's like, digging into it. She didn't stop. So actually, that's what happened. They were trying to take my card out. Long story short, right? Hold on. You get cuffs on you. I'm just going to rehear you right, okay? I don't want you to say anything that is, you know, too popular for you, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah. We have to like wait and see these DSA people do. Like I said, they're starting to like win their primaries. Like 7 of them like won their primaries last week. Like a couple of them obviously didn't. So like normally in the past, you know, they would never really win their primaries. But you know, like Liam Donnie kind of basically changed that election when he like kind of came out of nowhere, won the primary for the mayor's race in New York, being like Cuomo, the like former governor. They kind of changed the way of that. But they normally like hopefully continues that way. They normally do really bad in the generals because they rely like a lot of independent voters, like undecided voters, are really like independents. The independents are they're like either like libertarians or they're just or like you know just you know they don't really want with any party. Are not going to agree with the fucking DSA wants or anything like that because they're you know like a lot of their policies are just so fucking out there and so I really hope that the Republicans actually you know change like their change for their policies and come at these why them just saying how bad they are it's not going to change anything. If they actually just, you know, if like I said many times, if Trump just stuck with his campaign promises, you know, you wouldn't be seeing like the rise in the DSA, if like doesn't in the war for Iran, he didn't fix the economy, healthcare is so expensive, and you know, and Republicans were able to pass legislation since they've been in office. That's the reason why these people are you know like winning, you know, their like primaries and then you know all that stuff. I would just hope that you know that people you know vote for decency, not like craziness or anything like that. So So I hope that's the case. So we'll see. All right. So I'm kind of tired today. Like I'm kind of tired. So Piers Morgan. Watch the first half of Piers Morgan. Like, so I just watched the parts of that song. So Piers Morgan had Dave Smith on. I like Dave Smith, Libertarian. Also, he's been on Joe Rogan decent amount of times. He's been on Piers Morgan decent amount of times too. Yeah, like Carville on. You'll probably see him for James Carville. Yeah, Fanny. He's works with Patrick David's podcast. He's been on there a couple of times. He's been on there with with like Hasan and Destiny. And then like Cenk Uygur. He's been like the most frequent guest that comes on Piers Morgan show. If you don't know who Cenk is the founder of the Young Turks. The Young Turks it's been one of the biggest alternative media political media spaces in the country. They're one of the biggest alternative media channels in the internet. They've been super early 2010s. I was obviously Assad. Worked with him, worked with Cenk, that's the uncle. He worked with the Young Turks for a couple of years. That's how he was able to pay as well. So they mentioned the son a couple of times. The son, went on Piers Morgan a couple of times. Once in 2023 when the Israel after October 7th, they went on there. Twice in 24 when they're debating, with some pro-Israel person. And after the debate with Biden, so let's go look at this. We're not gonna watch all of it, obviously. I don't know. I'm trying to watch the parts with the sign. I watch the parts. James Carve. I'll watch the one with I'll watch the ones with Carver Titato Hassan. Then they debate about Hassan Tank. So we'll look at the first 45. We'll probably watch the first 45 minutes. Trying to watch the first half of the highlight and Tucker interview. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Cenk. I kind of like Cenk back in the day. Not really. I wasn't paying attention to politics back then, but I would sometimes see because of Cenk. Cenk kind of looked like he was kind of decent, even though some of his policies were out there. But he, like Hassan, he's been completely mind fucked and mind captured by this Israel-Palestine shit. That's the only thing this guy tweets about is Israel. Trust me, that's the only thing he ever talks about is Israel. It's just the only thing he talks about. It's just fucking Israel. People like Hassan or Cenk Uygur and Kyle Kalinske, all these other people that are about constantly making people about Israel Palestine. They can never come with an answer when they ask what's your solution. The West Bank. They can never come with this fucking solution because one, they don't really know anything about the conflict. They have to answer take a fucking answer multiple choice test about the history of Israel Palestine. Hassan would probably know a decent amount of it, but the rest of them would not know a single fucking thing about it because they don't really care. They just used to weaponize the Democratic Party in the fucking country, basically. So that's just my opinion. Sorry, just get back to this. But Cenk Uyghur's kind of like a fucking goofball. He's just kind of a fucking buffoon. He's just a big man child. So some girl clips, right? Like a lot of clips of Chang, like on Piers Morgan. So
Still, until people were already asking, they were already asking before this event
Is it
played
the
out.
truth stops existing the moment her hand touches the glass?
Let's
That's when I got a fully
I love
flashback.
that.
Because this is a situation where she was petty, loud, and impossible reason. And this is the stuff that brings control on the dangerous calls everywhere. And we get the tow truck guy jumping into out of control. But there's also this video. Because every helpful hand can become a witness, a headline, or a possible defendant. Tow truck guy wrapped his arms around someone he didn't know, trying to keep her from hurting the officer. And the sad part, he'll probably have to justify his actions longer than the woman who caused the whole scene. Then we have the
always answers my FaceTime, so if he doesn't pick up,
in fact, told the whole story of what is showing up. It was calm, stressful, and he listened to the songs about the generations say families the worlds apart and how they deal with conflict. And it makes you wonder how the gap got so wide so fast. This suspect, Regina, was charged with resisting obstructing a peace officer. She is innocent.
they were trying to pick up Ernie.
he doesn't. He doesn't apologize. Trust me. Don't believe that bullshit that he really. He's not sincere about it. Come on, dude.
Kason's good at relationships, bro. He is. I'm not. I don't know what's gonna happen, bro.
And probation, community service, yeah, no box for her. We got too many other people for a box. And the parents get why she fucked up.
This is the socialist, my wife wants to get a private property. Lives in a fucking $5 million mansion in LA, $200,000 fucking Porsche. Champagne socialists like this fucker have free properties in the Middle East, the 1% tax bracket. It's got money from fucking Islamic terrorist organizations. Same with his father-in-law. His wife doesn't believe in health insurance. So all these people are just fake. They're fake idiots. They really are.
Because they can't. Well, now there's no way for them to plan for the future. They can't think about, well, what am I going to do after this? There is no after this.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that Nick Fuentes went out to with Trump. It was him and Kanye too.
And so that's the issue.
Kanye was too.
Very clearly in the moment, and that's it. And the lack of third places. The cops should have done a better job of de-escalating the situation. I really feel like she failed in that regard. I don't really think so. I think that I almost never placed the onus on a police officer to de-escalate the situation when the truth is that the person should have never escalated it in the first place. I don't think that the police officer should be looked at as the person that should be accountable for not being able to use the correct, word magic to get some feral animal to understand what to do. Right? Like, I think the officer, is there a way an officer...
They've lost their identity.
Well, I think it's
You guys lost your identity, man.
And so if you're not doing your job, like the moment that you act weird like a police officer is a person, it's not like this is a robot or something. So really, if there was a situation like this, you could just expect to see that happen.
You optic fans that
word magic. Well, I'm telling you, right? You got to tell them that, I mean, that's of course they should. Why pay cops to learn de-escalation?
Very active back in the day.
I think that is and I think that she did de-escalate. I don't think that she escalated.
Fans that should
Like, I don't think so. And also, I think that the amount of violent, aggressive behavior, like de-escalation, on what it is, I don't think that. I mean, being compliant with like an aggressive person that's trying to prevent you from, figuring out whether this person's breaking the law, right? Like, I think that's it.
I went to the
Answer for anything, I'm not sure either. I mean, again, like, I'm sure a better cop could have
Well, they're
done a different job,
tankies.
but I don't know if it really would have made a
They're
difference
both
for a person like that.
tankies.
I don't think so. And I'm not going to go and criticize and look at an officer because I also
for you guys to be the grand finals
every
major
also, like, by the way,
of
we
an
pay cops
individual year on top of the fact that you just
That's
won
what we pay
champs
cops.
twice in the last
No, they can't. They can't do all the independents in the moderates either.
Right, so that's what I would say more than anything else.
Never made it to a champs grand finals, and I know you had the dynasty after that. You guys are miserable. And now I've owned a team for 9 years
Hey, guys,
myself.
who's your favorite
And I
actor?
cannot
Go ahead.
fathom some of
Hey,
the
guys.
things that I see on the cock competitive subreddit there. I'm just gonna get that off my chest. And if you guys want to square up verbally or via text on the website, I'm down, bro. Come on. What are you gonna say? Oh, he's gambling shit now. Oh man, he always makes jokes about his wife or nothing. I hate
Go ahead and
you.
click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single
I
episode like that. That button
can't
right here. Come from the
Some of you
board.
guys are nice
Stay
things.
from the store.
I do like that. It's nice to go
Anthony Richardson has likely played his last game snap as a member of the Colts for Ian Rappaport. Richardson will either be traded or released before the season begins. The Colts have not demoted Richardson to third string quarterback. Indianapolis moved Riley Leonard as their long-term QB2 over the former number 4 overall pick. Richardson has widely regressed and appears to be completely checked out after requesting an off-season trade.
Some of you guys are that shit crazy. I mean, that's a good thing, though. At the end of the day, I guess it kind of makes the game more interesting.
Where maybe a change of scenery would be better for him.
The toxicity was the problem.
Honestly,
Did you see
Joe? A change of scenery might be better for him.
I don't know much about that quarterback, but I do love Crab. That kid, I think Crab is one of the best.
One and two is kind of set.
Ethan ass. I really don't know much about that Ethan.
Not only changing scenery, but going to the right team is also important. A team that had a great head coach, a team that has a great veteran presence at the quarterback position that can help him grow.
Think this was a pretty decent year.
He can, I'm assuming, maybe hope to have another opportunity.
It's
to
a
start
bummer
in the
if you're an
NFL.
LA
But the way
fan
this
for
works, with him being such a
both years with
high
Scrap
pick,
Hydra that we get a
it's not
chance.
likely, but you never know what may happen. You never know. You may never know, but they kind of suck for him.
Yeah, but your wife, Jeannie, will make it worse, bro. Like, you want to get rid of means for talking, man. That would just make everything fucking worse. It's been tried. It's failed. You dumb fucking dick.
Throwing him out there as rookie
One made the
is
three,
hurting more than
BO6,
it is
one made the
making
four.
it
We had Ghosty and Homeboy.
Go ahead, Joe. He
We got
could.
the champs. We
He
should
could.
fed. We got
Ocho
the
ain't gonna
WC.
say,
We
you know, he
should
gonna
fed.
sweeten it up.
Uh,
I'm
Lost
saying
me
because
this
he
year.
had,
I
coming out of
honestly
college,
still think they should
Joe, he lacked this,
And then
he
we went
lacked
to
experience,
champs, did not play
but
well.
then he had all the physical tools and traits
I watched
to
every
be a
match
hell
we played,
of
every
a
match we played.
QB. That's why he went for the 4th pick overall.
I didn't
At the
actually
same
see the
time,
match was
When you,
that's
when
cap.
you get out there,
But
man,
I
you
should
can't
really
read
be done. But I
coverages
didn't
and
go watch all the clips of
your
him.
process is a little
That's the
slow as
extra
a
insight on
quarterback.
stage.
That's
The fact that him
detrimental,
and
bro.
Ernie
Detrimental.
They
They not
team
gonna,
together.
they ain't wasting
They
too much time. They
like
gonna
very
move on.
awesome.
He had a
Like they
few
were happy to see each other
opportunities, bro.
play
They
against
moving
each
on
other.
from that.
I understand.
I'm joking, but this game was.
He's always got songs.
We're not about it. I said he's gonna be saving that locker room.
But yeah, I think overall we
When he took himself out of the game, he talking about he retired.
It's up
He
to you.
was being the first, last one in and the first one out as a
It's kind of
quarterback.
a brick
Now I say this is what I said.
wall.
I said,
Unintended
okay,
degree wall.
he's
It's
a
off.
project. You can't say, okay,
He's
Shannon,
as
I'm gonna
good. He
give
had a
you
similar
I'm gonna give
situation
you
as
2
Luka.
years to complete this house and then try to move
Once
in the
again,
house in a
bro,
week.
I really don't know what team
The house ain't ready.
next year, but I'm gonna do everything I can to
He
keep
wasn't
scrapping
ready to
Hydra.
play.
Hope you guys know
And they
that.
put him out there. You said he was a project. You were going to
I know
develop
it's a
him.
big topic of discussion
Andy
because now
Reid
the
signed
last event
Patrick
is over.
Mahomes for a year.
But
Yeah.
I obviously want them to still be on the team, so I'm gonna do my
He
best.
didn't
But
help his cause.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Bro, the NFL is not like college. See, at college,
See his team looking good.
bro, he just didn't pick this up when he came to the league now.
This guy,
The habits you have in college, that's what you got when you come to the NFL.
That's a pattern.
Yeah, he's under
That's a
contract,
pattern.
bro.
That's it. If
Yeah,
people
you got
just
him
told
for
me,
another year.
oh, you don't know what it's like. I've been around enough locker rooms.
So I
Absolutely
think
know
we'll
what it's
try
like.
to keep
I
scrapping
know that the
costs
locker room is a
necessary
little less
for
more forgiving now
CLC.
than it was when you and I
also
played, no
told
joke.
Alex you're not trying to
But that's
pursue
the
any side
problem.
Hydra.
Because these guys will hold these other guys accountable. That's why you have situations like we have. That's what I couldn't
I was
tolerate.
also told that
Go
it
ahead,
would
Ocho.
be easier, like we
One more
said.
thing too, in chat, y'all check it out real quick.
Yo,
There's
listen,
certain
my
quarterbacks
goal
that
is
come
to
out of
scrap
college
and
that are
Hydra.
NFL
Listen,
ready.
I don't know
You know
if
they
we'll be able to
NFL
do
ready.
it. I'll tell you what,
Anthony Richardson
I get
passed
a
the eye
decent amount of
test.
money to spend.
With all the physical
We'll see what
tools.
happens.
He passed the eye test, but he didn't have
No, not
what
necessarily.
it took to play
But everybody
NFL right
has
away.
across all
Joe
these
Burrow
sports
had
titles
took
and
it
every
right
player across every
Yes.
league that they can pick
Josh
up in the
Allen,
last 1 to
he had
2 years, 3
it right
years.
away. As a matter
But
of fact,
Josh didn't start right away. He had a couple games. Yes.
I wouldn't
saying
name
he
understatement.
Yes, yes. I get what you're
This
saying.
maybe my
Mahomes had
perception
to
though, like
play right
he's-
away.
besides like
He's
playing
still
for optic, and now maybe gentlemen because of that event in Paris. I still think like I'm very far removed from being a player when I was young, and there were things that were important to me, and things that I loved, and things that I wanted for the team. But I really only played for like 2 or 3 teams. I played for Optic and Envy for like a small sliver.
It was a disservice
What
to
about the
him
career Optic then?
in his development as a quarterback.
I think
And now,
LADs.
All right, that was
I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
that was interesting. I guess.
Great sponsors.
All right, that's just ads.
There's more. I don't know what the players value now.
I knew.
And I'm not sitting here acting like things because we can't pay our players. We have a great budget this year.
Let's kill for that talent.
In my opinion, if you were asking me right now,
The only other
I
quarterback
have not
that had the physical
over a
tools and
decade.
looked like he did and tested like
Yes, I would think that you would want. If you could be a part of any team other than Optic, I feel like I want to be part of any teams. I'm really not even trying to stroke myself or the organization or pat myself on the back. I'm just looking at it optically. Like LA Thieves in the last 4 or 5 years had a great legacy, a great staff behind them, and have won a lot. There's like a legacy there. I don't know. I think that's the way that I see it. I don't know. But it's hard to say. I don't know what it looks like for players. I don't know how they perceive if they carry that shit. But like if you ask me, no offense to Boston, I mean, I don't know. I don't know 99% of the owners across any of these organizations. If you ask me, like, if I were a player, would I want to play for LA Thieves over Boston Breach, Ravens, what are the other teams? Heretics. I'm genuinely not even trying to disrespect them, but like if I wanted to play for a team and I was a player right now, I'd want to play for either Optic, Thieves, or Gentlemen's. Is it? Or FaZe. Holy shit. FaZe is a legacy organization. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
There we go.
FaZe.
Colin was right.
I mean,
Pump the brakes on the Dodgers dynasty. This is an old team with a lot of injuries, and they are slumping.
I want to play
They
for
have
FaZe
the
too.
worst record in
If I
baseball
want to make a bunch
since
of money,
the
probably
Tarek
play for Falcons.
School.
All right, so there's a little bit more competition out there.
Where Colin was wrong.
50 anonymous executives
Come
have
talk myself
Caleb
into that
Williams tied with
But not
Brock
the brand.
Purdy as the
I don't know,
11th
I
best
think-
quarterback. I see a more dynamic,
There's a lot of great
athletic,
orgs. There's a lot of great
stronger
orgs
arm
across
talent
esports, bro.
quarterback with
G2
7
is low-key
fourth quarter
legacy
comeback
org.
wins.
G2, bro, I think
They see
G2
Brock Purdy as
I know
his
Carlos
equal.
said all that shit.
Colin
I
was
don't remember.
right.
I think
The Niners
but
are
Carlos
too
G2
loyal
got
to
in a
older
bunch of
players.
controversy. He,
Injuries
supported
piling up in
Andrew Tate or something like
preseason.
Andrew
So
Tate.
once again,
First got
what
really,
team is
like,
the
viral
most
on the
nicked up in the
internet.
preseason? The Niners.
I always had really good interactions with Carlos back in the day. I did like the
Shedeur
fact
Sanders,
he took to, like, the
The
100
last rated quarterback in the quarterback tier, below KJ McCarthy. I think he's underdrafted. I think he's accurate. I think he needs to grow up. And NFL executives had him dead last.
Hold on, I just want to make sure I understand this. You go to the website. And
He
you
has the Dallas Cowboys over and under at 9.5. You can win the regular season with a really high flying offense. If the weather gets cold, everybody's got film. You're losing players. So defense and coaching is much more important in December and January. Now, people are a little uncomfortable. I know I am with Brian Schottenheimer. I am not uncomfortable with their talent. Again, very workable schedule. To really be a Super Bowl
And
team,
then on the
there's
internet,
generally 2 or 3 things you need.
it wasn't like
Is
serious
Dak
shit.
good enough to get you to a Super Bowl? I think at this point we would have to say yes. Are they good enough at skill
Like a year
position?
ago, we were
Absolutely. Offensive line,
went out to
I
lunch,
think
had a
absolutely.
great time.
I think this is a
But
legitimate
aside
Dallas
from all
team.
the Carlos shit that went down with G2, G2
Team
does
that's
have like
fascinating to me, and I like
legacy
them,
across
is the
esports
Denver
titles.
Broncos.
I'm
History
really not,
tells
like,
you they are not going to win
sleeves up
11 one-score
fully
games.
ingrained
The
in
Broncos
esports nowadays,
trailed
but
in
I
15
like
games last
G2 as like a
That
simple
will never
folk,
happen
simple
again.
jack.
It just
I like
doesn't
their
make
plan
any
there.
sense at all.
I like
The
G2
division's
because
back.
they've won a lot of
Mahomes is back for
legends, they've won a
Kansas
lot of
City.
other games,
Harbaugh
and I
hires
think it's
Mike
a good
McDaniel
organization.
for
I don't know
Herbert.
what their
Look at the
background
Broncos'
is now,
early
who's
schedule.
running it,
It's
but-
insane. They are only favored in the
What's that?
first 6
Watch your
weeks
stream.
in
What's up,
one
big
game.
dog?
So is it
What's up,
possible
Dylan?
they start
What's up,
3 and
big deal?
5 or 2 and 6?
That's
It's
a
not
good-looking
just
motherfucker
4 to
right
5
there.
new
Very
playoff
big.
teams. Somebody that was
Very
good
nice mother,
is
great
going to go man
family.
overboard.
What's up, big dog? Yo,
Caleb
what's this guy
Williams
goes home saying that
has
we
lost,
want
he told me 13 pounds, and he looks fat. He looks like a wide receiver up that left sideline. He's much more accurate.
I mean,
Again,
maybe
this is
I'm
a
like behind
young,
on
very
Louisville,
talented team. Last year was bar rescue Chicago
We're gonna
Bears
try to
style.
resign Scott.
Had to bring in a new menu, a new
Forget that
staff.
Ross Mania
It took them the
is fucking
preseason
serious.
and a couple of
Right
weeks to
after
get the
the
menu right. And then all of a sudden, 3 through 13 last year, they were one of the best offenses in the league. They were an excellent team. What I saw yesterday was a lot of speed, a lot of energy. Caleb is thinner, faster, much more accurate. Again, is he going to be a 67% completion guy? I don't know, but that offense was pretty damn crisp.
Our budget's not going to be different than last year. So unless somebody comes in with a bag or players that
He really has a
scrap and hydrate individually who think they want to play with more,
major enough.
that could be a problem. But Zach said he was better than you. Fine. I've never played against Zach.
Patrick didn't have any additional surgeries. Patrick and his coach weren't arguing about how healthy
He shot very straight.
And as far
One of the
as,
things I remember
what
sometimes like
my expectations from Rose are, I
and
think
then
it's a straight.
AW Peter has a chance.
This guy
to
is
shoot very straight then. That's just very good.
Get
I didn't
back
get to play against him for
since
very long, but I do remember
8
still being
weeks
very, very
after the
good.
surgery.
There were a lot of
He
players
has
that were better than
been
me. I think I was pretty
anxious
smart.
to show the world who he still is.
I just got
Since
excited on that. I'm like,
3
well, I
weeks
think this is
after
the right play.
surgery.
I feel like
And we will see how this takes it.
and I
My
either a second ahead of
confidence
it or a
level
second behind it. But I always
is
thought I had to do
not
that. Because that was the only reason I was able to stay a pro
the
player as long as I did.
sophistication of their offense.
Because I did not shoot
Not
very
to
straight. But then I shoot myself
history
if
of
I
their
had
wide
better map
receivers.
awareness.
It is
And
about
that's the aim that we have.
assuming
Oh,
you
why
have
can I
Patrick
not
and
do
Andy
this?
there.
Like scumper.
Their offensive line, I think they
I
are
don't
going to
know.
make them respect the run game. And I think Patrick is going to be at work. And so I don't think he's going to have some crazy physical
background
game.
playing.
But I think that he is going
Chess
to
game, I guess.
try to
Think
show
about it,
the
bro.
audience in what
If I
will
wasn't
be
that good all these years,
absolutely
how did I
electric
let
performance
everything I did?
that he is
When I
fully
turned it into. Very lucky, but
same
same time.
2%. Because I think the other 3 guys raw talent is so much higher, and Caleb and Drake are also so much younger than I think there's more upside there. 13%.
That's not.
I am
never had
legitimately concerned about his long-term viability with that style.
I love your.
It is, I'm just saying, all he's ever been done is
Every thought I was
right.
asked.
And see how this shit goes. I think 85%.
It's his pride.
40%.
2.0 baby.
Give me a break. What do you mean? You think it's, I saw 25% kill. What does he do that Drake made?
I wasn't the best.
Run back
I was
like the spectacular run backward. I think he has I think he is another runner. You're asking me who I think
Not
is
50 for sure.
more dangerous as a runner. I think Caleb has maybe the strongest arm in the league. Certainly a top 3 arm strength. I also do value that I thought Caleb played some of his best ball in the playoffs, and I thought Drake played very well.
Think about it like this too. That you can see if I wasn't playing Minecraft and streaming all day, and I was actually died of the playoff losses.
Have to match the talent. I think all of that is totally fair. Unfair.
I
Justin Herbert last week on the show. When I wasn't here, not him.
What's his
Year,
Yes.
it was spirited. And what I will say, yes, there's family and loved ones. It's all over the place. Was that a kid playing with us? But that's the thing I apologize. That was like his knees playing with his hand. This
He's definitely an interesting person. Really interesting person.
If we look at Mike McDaniel and what he's done,
Bro, you got super. What the fuck is that ad, dude? Oh my god, I thought that ad was fucking
I think it's going to be just much of a big Daniel is going to unlock the teams for just everything. Do everything. Play caller, a left tackle, and a right tackle, all at once.
But yeah,
This always
don't really care about it as much, but I do like to defend myself on the internet from time to time. But I don't ever think about my career. I'll just being transparent. It's crazy, like things that seem like they really matter. You know, obviously, you know,
I don't understand this bad X, Y, Z. Here's what it is. I know it's going to be a little crazy, but I know we make way for this. Listen to my advocate and Jerry. Can you please figure out a way? Let's figure it out. I don't care what needs to happen. Let's figure it out. It's going to give you a couple of checks. $94 million to sign. You can see it, Jack Prescott. When we just signed a 3-year, $105 million business, $106 million extension. You're making the second highest paid defensive lineman in all of football.
I was everything I needed. I'm not 18 anymore.
Yeah, 18 to win that damn Goliath bag, didn't I recently I heard you talking about how oh my God, now that Dallas is really invested in you, they didn't invest in him. Look, big fella been doing his thing. We got him up in the train last year. Yeah, I heard defense pretty good. We picked that up too, but I'm just saying, I like this. I honestly think we can go get taken care of too. Y'all know Jay like the bells and whistles, but he like to do stuff right before the season by the kickoff. You know what I said that Ocho? You know this thing. You know this thing going to for $45 million. You ready to play Jerry? You let this thing play out? You might be looking at $50 million. Absolutely. Is that? You think Jackson that he broke his hand like Birdman?
Camp would fit into the NIL world. They can be a little precious. It's very academic. I could have absolutely seen Notre Dame saying, we're not getting into bidding wars with Ohio State. But the advantage they have, they may have the best coach in college football. The second advantage they have is when kids commit to Notre Dame, NIL, they don't leave. Like you go there for more than football. I am honestly surprised that they're noticeably better than the Brian Kelly Notre Dame, and I thought that was going to be the ceiling. Oh no, they look much, in my opinion, they look. I mean, could they win the Natty this year? Could they win it?
I'll put it to you this way: if they played in the SEC, I think I'd pick them to win the SEC this year.
It's like you guys. Every single local game,
I also say that because we're going to see it. This is an extremely good team. You said everything right now. I think it's like we're going to you didn't think you could get better than where Brian Kelly got. No, it's not talked about. The opinion that Brian Kelly would have to go when he was because he got somebody. And I don't think there's any real history of potential on them. They said he needs someone you got to go to LSU if you want to win the biggest prize in the industry. Not only were they able to operate with someone that's already in the building, they didn't have to win this national.
He was a big guys. He truly thinks good.
Guys already there, but also institutionally, people we reinvent and more shit. There's certain aspects. Notre Dame very clear.
Next day or the day after. That was crazy.
Although when you get that also over a coming 5-year period, you feel better about the future of Notre Dame football than you do 2026.
Academic power and an old school good friend in the split talk. Sometimes the world changes. The offensive tutor, if your kid gets a C+, but then it's your kid. It's not the tutor.
Very warm. Very smart guy.
Five coaches on it goes Sirianni, Zach Taylor, Todd Bowles, Aaron Glenn, Shane Price. First 10 weeks left. Daniel Jones. There's no offense in the league.
Oh,
Your television
say stuff
I watch them go to Los Angeles
all the time.
and outduel and outplay Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. They had the game won, but a receiver goes up the left sideline and fumbled the ball away before he got to the end zone. Justin Herbert, Shane Steichen is his play caller, said an all-time rookie.
The issue is that people think stuff.
Touchdown pass. Jalen Hurts was a near MVP. How was he last year without it? Everywhere Steichen goes and leaves, the team, the offense gets one. They were 4-12 and 1. The year before the Colts had Shane Steichen. The next year, they were 9-8 with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, not a good one. That's not a good one, man.
I don't even, I mean, he would be unemployed for 14 minutes. It's been a life preserver in this organization. Right before the season. Chris Ballard's been for years. He went back to
The Gil Ricks guy.
they're drafting Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones. He was healthy last year. That was a top 10 offense. I'll tell you, that's a really, really good offense. Now, I think the offense is fine. Well, I love Taylor. They got capable receivers. Plus,
You are
Shane Steichen to me.
You are that thing. You are the thing, by the way.
Absolutely. Sauce Gardner. They traded a couple first rounders for him. He's been in this league a few years.
He did.
Talk about his head coach.
I remember doing this interview, but I don't remember coming back to I'm like, meanwhile, Obama makes a comment on the record on private donors, the president.
I remember talking to the former GM of the Chargers, Tom Francisco,
Lose their mind.
and Steichen was the offensive coordinator of the Chargers. And they went and drafted Herbert, and like a lot of people were like, oh, let's go to the Chargers, they got Herbert. And I remember him telling me, this guy is
He's not sorry. He truly believes that shit. That's his hero. He did say that. Fidel Castro says he was his hero too.
I feel bad. Like in every other profession, if you're going to be in a job, you go to law school at Virginia too.
Guy's funny as fuck. This guy's fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my god.
NFL team got a worse break in the last second than the Indianapolis Colts right before the season. And I'm blaming him for retiring. He's a long life, was a smart kid. Now he's running Stanford football program as general manager. And he honestly, Dallas would be screwed. I mean, honestly, what do? You hope that Dallas would be lucky to go into a very good quarterback draft. If you draft a fourth quarterback, you get lucky. Any team in the league. If Caleb Williams is like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
By the way, no one's he could afford the best people. So Joe's this is culture. 11-5, 11-5. Without a great they were tired, so you know, water. So I would like first time.
True. Yeah, Donald Trump is continuing that great tradition. Yes.
Packers don't turn it over. So very supportive of injuries. The Bears and the Niners. They have and I think it is kind of interesting to watch. There's a lot of people who say, "Oh, I do think there's something to be said that the very good is that's my interpretation. I've said this about this. I know research shows that dogs can live up to 2 leads in the 4 hours of Illinois. Maryland, they have better players. Toughness is in these issues of life process. Instead of fair criticism, healthy alternatives. I think it's
Ernie's always been a bullshit artist. He says, always been a fucking bullshit artist.
Josh Jacobs. Hey, Josh, I know you're a power runner, but you're a downhill runner. Let's go look at the best teams.
True.
The Seahawks, the Rams, maybe even those guys are inside outside.
Yeah. Taxpayers. The working middle class pays for that shit. Takes out their fucking wages. Yep, thanks to Ron Ward, thanks to the tariffs. True. Damn. Cook. Cook.
Still feels long playoff runs anytime they amazing. Where time was wrong. In that quarterback tier list, NFL executives, 50 anonymous executives have James Williams tied with Ross Kirby as the 11th best quarterback.
Fucking loser.
On talent quarterback with 7 fourth-quarter comeback wins. They see Brock Purdy as his equal, despite the fact that Brock Purdy is 5-7 in his career with Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. I just like everybody else, but I see a coach and running back with this quarterback. NFL executives with Caleb.
No, she hasn't, you fucking dipshit. It's so tired. She's oh, what a fucking bullshit. Fucking dipshit. She was Walker's shank. See? Sir.
This once again is a team that's the most picked up in the full season. Why is it that where Shador Sanders always the last rated quarterback in the quarterback championship? He's underdrafted. I think he's accurate. I think he's crazy. I think he's got a loose guys. Throws the ball downfield. I'm not seeing that go from the helmet. I've been told by a league executive that's an organization. Front office working. Not seeing the field. Letting go of the ball. I think that's more challenging. I think it's international football, even when losing the NFL executives at take a deep breath. USC Notre Dame was eventually going to resume. And what do you know? Jen Cohen, the USC athletic director, announces it's back on. It's going to take a 4-year hiatus. Remember, Texas A&M took a 13-year break. When they started playing again, it was as big as any rivalry in the country. This was always about what we said on this show. USC wanted to play Notre Dame. They did not want to play them in the middle of a cold winter Big Ten.
Dude, I thought it was an AI head, dude. Not sure we did disrespectful. Holy shit.
USC. I'm wrong. Go look at Notre Dame's schedule. They needed this game. That's why they were so upset. Take a deep breath. College professors take sabbaticals, so occasionally to great college football rivalries. Where Colin was wrong. I love Kevin Stefanski to the Atlanta Falcons. I thought it would be a new day, but Tua has back issues. Penix still recovering. They just lost their top young pass rusher, Jalen Walker, for the season. I like him as a head coach. The ownership is stable, but they have the worst odds to win the NFC. I do think the Saints will win that division. Maybe by a stretch. This has not gotten up to a very good start.
They do. Even the criminals, and the prisons, and defund the police. They want to end teenage production. They want to supply the main private property, private enterprise, surplus. I keep going on and on and on. Yeah. Dude, Spain is so bad right now. God has been banned for 2 weeks. Dude. Got him banned for 2 weeks because of that. Bro, change. Dude, Jake is such a loser. He's like Hasan, such a fucking lying fucking loser. He's just getting owned by everybody. He knows that his retarded fucking policies have never fucking worked. So, just go look at Russia. You realize when the fucking USSR collapsed, every independent country left Russia. They became their own independent fucking countries and joined the EU. They joined like NATO. Like same with like when the Berlin Wall fell, people went to West Germany, not East Germany. Cuba's a shithole. They have like virtually no power. They're running out of food, water. They virtually have run out of gas. Go look at Venezuela. Venezuela was the fourth richest country in the world. At one point, it's a shithole. They were taken over by Hugo Chavez. Then also Nicolas Maduro. Go look at other countries in South America, socialist run communist shitholes. Look at Cambodia, shithole. Look at North Korea, no fucking freedom. China, you have no freedom. The only reason like China has like a dominated, economy GDP because they're they're the biggest trading partner. They use people for cheap, labor like children, and also they're like a hybrid. They're a capitalist run country, and and also communist too. Like communism has been man, so. He's just another dumb retard. Sorry for interrupting. I just like wanted to say that. Yeah, he's a loser. Yeah, loser. How's you realize that's their fucking policy, cunt.
And this is the first time I think you could have this best year. I think Dallas is not the wall. I really do. I think probably the end of the game right now is guys that are faces on the starting defense going back.
Jesus Christ.
9-10 months of transformation on that defense from a year ago. Because I should not be
it is fucking because he called Mouse's fucking hero. Fucking Fidel Castro. Legit blazes fucking China. And he says the USSR was a sad day when it fucking collapsed. 40 million people. Starved all these people. Of course he would. Yeah. Huge birds, bro.
Anti-Semites use your brain. Anti-Semites used to be, Henry Ford was anti-Semite.
40 million people he slaughtered, fucker. He murdered more people than Hitler. More people than Hitler. Zeus on his cosplay in this. Which are fucking communist.
You are just one that doesn't use your brain. Ozzy's going to flee to Israel. Well, why would he do that? When he's the president, he uses the like, what are you talking about?
Oh, retard.
That's the easiest question to answer about pride. He's going to flee to Israel and raise more kids and eat more children.
Yeah, fuck face. Fat. Dude, he is such a fat. He's such a fat hippo. He really is such a fat fucking hippo, dude. Jesus Christ, look how fat that fucking idiot is, dude. Oh shit. Sorry about that.
He's clearly one of these people. And look, I like if you want to know the truth, he's clearly someone that is constantly swinging between the extremes. And he changes his name and he changes his political views a lot. This is not an attack. I don't think
Dallas Cowboys are reminded, even going back to back last season, that was the first time that happened so attached to the idea decades. My money was on this division. That team's going to be down. This is a very tough game. This is going to be a competitive win. We chose to use the really tough action. This is a long staring at her, touching it like this. It's a overtime. It's finished. It's 5 games. Kids were down. Actually, Eagles. Here. We came for the Cardinals. This one. 9. This is a good
Loser. Fucking loser. Bro, would he be saying this if like fucking conservatives said the shit that Hassan said they ran out with Donald Trump? Of course he would. Of course he would. He'd be calling that person like a fucking fascist ran out with Donald Trump. It's just so fucking lazy and retarded. He's going defensive because he doesn't have a comeback because he knows that he said stupid shit. He literally said yesterday that he says he has no patriotism in his heart. He literally said Hamas is the lesser two evils of the United States and fucking Israel, dude. It's like, come on, man. It's like, what a fucking cunt, dude. He literally fucking praising the Houthis and Hezbollah is his favorite flag. She literally shows terrorist propaganda all the fucking time that they get banned for. It's like, what are we talking about, dude? It's like, Jesus Christ, go sit fucking more. I'm sorry. Jesus. Well, you're a fat sucker. You're a fat bloated sucker. Fat fuck. I don't believe him. Jesus Christ. Typical leftist. They are concerned, dude.
Oh my goodness. UPS on my UPS page on my computer. I also have UPS on my internet thing, but it keep my internet on for some reason. I don't know why. I have UPS on my computer. Oh, Tucker got fired because Donald Trump's $5 million from lying on air. It's funny. Crazy that this is going to the Fox News, the lawsuit, actually released from him.
You're such a liar, dude. If my voice correct. My voice correct. Such a liar. What a fucking bloated fuck. Jesus Christ, this guy is so mind-fucked by Israel, dude. He's literally like Hasan. He's literally mind-fucked by it. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god.
Got fired. It almost cost Fox News $1 billion for lying on air. It's funny. There's that in the rhetoric, and what you're actually calling is the idea.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. No, he's lying. Of course it would. Yes. Yes.
Israel looks so bad. Oh my God.
Yeah, you should fucking condemn Hassan for it, dude. Dipshit. Bro, Hassan has sent a lot of wars. This says a lot of wars for me. He's got a track record. I'm saying a lot of wars heinous shit, dude.
Obama's vice president, and he's established a name. People that kind of casuals who are paying attention to all this. Not like you. He doesn't read the reasons, even though it's very rare.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Only other quarterbacks that had the physical tools and looked like he did what Cam do. And you see how Cam turned out to be. Cam was serious about his business.
And they give somebody
He didn't He completed 50 or less in college. But now somehow you expect him to come to the league and they can complete 60% of his passes.
Same here, man.
He's lazy now. Now maybe like you said,
True, brother. True, brother. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
If I know you gotta get rid of something, it would take my chances in the what's it called? See if he can pass. I'm not gonna give you anything. Maybe somebody get a 6 or 7 round pick that he can give a 6 round pick. But I don't want to get rid of it. The moment I know that I want to get rid of something, the less likely I am to want to give something of value. You gotta get rid of it. It's like you're trash. When you throw it out, you say it's not valuable.
Yeah, because he believes that too deep down. He probably fucking believes that shit. That's why I can't fucking answer it, dude.
how he needs to be religion into people's lives. But I'm not giving you anything with that. Right. I just don't know why. Also, and you remember,
I think it
he said the NFL would be really good. Y'all remember he said that? He didn't mean that.
I don't believe him, dude. You guys really believe him? I don't.
That's the way they think in the game. You know what I mean? You can have this big strong body and look good. You can't process information fast enough. It's like a point guard. It's the most valuable position on a basketball court. Same with quarterback. If they can't process the information fast enough, I always just feel still. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, man. Hey, and the Richmond got them straight. Who the most athletic quarterback in all of Fame? Who the most athletic quarterback for the Super Bowl? Who the fastest quarterback? That gotta be true. That's the last thing I care about. How fast the quarterback is. I was the first show. Was the long jump? Was the 3-yard short? I don't give a damn about it. I just want to know how fast the process is. They're trying. That's what I want. How well can he retain information? Those are the two things that I want to know. Anything else? Can you process it? Can you retain it? You give me something that can process information and retain information, and I'll beat your ass. You're a quarterback that's 6'4", 240 pounds, running 4-3, jumping back and throwing the ball 80 yards on one knee. When you gonna be on one knee for the ball?
It is.
This idea that all so I guess it's like honestly, a chance. You like that? My kids said it's all, you know,
situation where, you know what, I might not just be good at the right, and I have to really bad. But I was damn, if we get
Yeah, but he's fucking anti-American, and he supports Islamic terrorism. He supports, he does. He said that. Who would you say had no patriotism in his fucking heart? He said, I don't support the United States of America. He was. I agree.
Maybe that's fine, but if you're sure that you're short, man, you can because now you're all y'all talking about kids. The man don't like me. The man don't like your habit. He's saying, I think this is good.
You're in the middle like a liquor store. Ain't nobody tell you nothing. You know everything.
She can't.
You want you to run around like this here. You should learn how you want to run it.
There we go.
The funny thing about it is, now you think about it, I'm a joke. I just narrowed it down to two things. How long can I
it's not like they're
Oh my god, this is, dude, this is funny as shit. Fuck no. Yeah, but Yeah, the difference between Tucker and Trump is Trump was a businessman for like 40 years. He was part of his dad's like real estate dynasty for 40 years. Like, he built a bunch of casinos, built a bunch of like amusement parks, hotels, casinos all across the country and across the world too. He was going on different political shows. He was like a reality TV star. Tucker's never had his own business. Tucker spent years at Fox News, like CNN, on these other places. That's completely fucking different, man. Like, at least Trump was like a businessman, at least. So that's like completely fucking different. And also, Trump was like a billionaire. He was able to, he wasn't broke or anything. He still took money from lobbyists. Like, he was plenty wealthy enough to pay for himself. He did it. So that's a whole different story. Oh shit! Sorry, keep doing that. Sorry. Back into it.
When you say it's true that Western civilization no, I don't say the exact fucking I think that it's tempting to look back and say if the founding of this country, a lot of people that were Christian, and you're like, oh, Christian values this is it's like the which I feel like arguably at the time the rejection of this more secular approach to life, some of
You always want to keep it in you feel me?
No, I think that really like the
you get mad at Coach Belichick. Coach Belichick gave everybody the second. That's why.
I wouldn't say that.
What did they do to love about he wanted to so bad. What did he do, Joe? He sent that man forward, sent that man out so he can out. That's why subordinates are not supposed to deal with judgment.
In public schools should be just educational. If you're,
sorry. She signed up to go play. You got to let her go.
But I also think that
Yeah. Probably Massey. Probably Matt. I went Massey. No, it's not easy. You gotta get a bunch of donors and lobbyist groups to get involved in that shit.
My local city council wants to put these
And I actually
I agree with that.
But
Yeah.
I try to live my faith in a way that's consistent across the rest of my life. People in the White House tell my
I might give you opportunity, but you tell my finances because they don't have a financial background. You want to do some security, you want to just come around and hang out with you. That's what you're good at.
This episode brought to you by Fox Nation. Real American Freestyle Wrestling is exclusively on Fox Nation. Go to foxnation.com and sign up to get Fox.
It's not easy. It's not that you understand. People's body or some type of time.
Definitely going to do it. But the point is,
Oh my God, who's time to it, Joe? Mayo. You call the everybody not doing this job.
What's going on here, Jim? Bible stories become required. Read it because
I just hate for the young man because I don't know if he took it as serious as he needed to. And I don't know if he understood what the NFL was. You can have that game and go your ass.
Beautiful way, and
you can have a good game because you got to figure out the big game. Somebody shut your ass.
It makes people very curious about that. I think that's something interesting. But then there's people like
I don't know if he took it as serious as he needed to.
reports that came from the start of the Iran War,
Where I don't know how old young man is, 22, 23.
officer who
But man, when I look back now, I thought I was working hard.
this guy came in and just explained to them
I'm
that
telling
they
you,
didn't
I
need
thought I
a
was
break
working.
because this war was
You know,
because
he's from an age where you try to look back. You know what I mean? Yes. Your rookie year,
military commanders ran
they pull you in.
So starting
And they say, Joe, you need to work hard. You need to work hard. You need to stop being the first one in and the last one in and the first one to leave. Bro, we can't have you in the ball game.
the blood that their weaponized version of
Imagine you as a rookie and your
Yes.
call you in and they talk about going over.
the actual quotes that
I mean, you know, I should have got his attention.
I figured it out like over a year ago. Over a year ago.
So I want to be crystal clear. I want to be abundantly clear. It was clear that it was abundantly crystal.
Yeah. The economy's getting worse.
Just not look like your behavior. Your affairs, your register is unacceptable. No, sir.
Of course it is.
Like I said, it's a different time now. It's just a different time. I need to accept that. That's why I couldn't go. I cannot accept this behavior that today's society that is part of it. Where's the different time? People don't want to work. And then they get mad at it. They didn't get what the work. They didn't really need it.
Especially in matters of war. The approach that I try to take is you try to make the best decisions you can. You put it on God's side.
And Coach really don't get it. He didn't like me.
Very famous.
No, he didn't like to work with it. He didn't like to practice it.
God is in control.
He didn't like how you were prepared when you were trying to become when your time was wrong. He didn't like that you were not prepared. You know your special troops.
don't know that
That's just you're essentially wrong with you. It always has and always
Trump
will.
was anointed by
It should have been.
I would work the same.
Jesus.
I would love to see Dave Smith in a solid debate. That would be fucking awesome. If they actually did.
First, I love this particular story.
Oh, fuck, son.
Here's the other thing I'll say. Have you heard about this for the first time just now? To your point about the media, I do think it's possible. To be honest.
But everybody gets wired like that.
By the way, just a quick thing.
It is.
I love the fact that people that work with media,
Yeah.
they want to be great. They want us to be great.
True. True. Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Laura Wilmer.
So I'm saying that this is what's being referenced.
Yeah, it's retarded, dude.
That sounds to me as like somebody or misrepresenting something that.
True.
Also, my idea, and this is going to bring back.
I can make it a little forward. I can move those games. I said I want to talk about the first place. I ain't just come. They don't see out.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, thanks, Trump. Fucking idiots. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, year and a half, we fucked it up. We fucked it. We fucked it. We're gonna fuck it up in like 6 months, 7 months. I'd be great to see we fucked it up.
You got to
You
know.
could be making more media for presidential run. I feel like everything right now is like was all lined up for him 25 times after the midterms. I feel like
Yeah, I know. I know. We have to keep talking freaking Hasan. It's just
you destroy the nuclear
it's annoying. Everybody's dick shit.
I think it's a longer term thing, which is where like a lot of debate is focused on right now, which is that building a nuclear program is hard, but it's not impossible. It's expensive. It's actually not even that expensive. You go on YouTube right now and find out how to build a nuclear program. So part of our RAND policy, this is where I get frustrated with people who say you should never negotiate the RAND. Part of our RAND policy is like solving the long-term problem. We can create a sort of circumstance where RAND.
Yeah, before Civil War. More Civil War.
If it was your call, would you have done exactly? Well, one of the president said,
Elon Musk and so on. Probably tell Elon and fuck their son. Jesus Christ.
Part of our RAND policy is like solving the long-term. That if
Oh, I'm so fucking tired. I'm getting off once this is done, dude. I'm tired. We'll watch the Hunter Biden Tucker tomorrow. Okay. I need to watch this. I didn't realize I was gonna watch all of this, but I just got really interested in it. So.
And my attitude towards this is, you know, as vice president, I'm not a company. Like my job is to give the best advice I can for the United States. He said a little bit about what that advice was.
God, I'm so tired.
But once the president makes a decision, so once I think that it's legal and ethical and all that stuff, I certainly think when you agree or disagree with what has been legal.
Yeah, I
So
know.
it wasn't an actual dangerous law. It wasn't an actual fucking hard piece of shit. One of the biggest reasons why I don't like to watch fighting sports is because I cannot think how to explain how absolutely mind-fucked Joe Rogan is, other than the fact that there must be some way to transmit CTE through the screen or while watching events. The reason why I avoid other shit, because you can explain how fucking this guy is. This is an insanely huge statement that if you were a journalist, you would absolutely interrogate the fuck out of that. Excuse me. It sounds to me like you're saying that you've given Trump completely contrary advice with regards to his approach on Iran. You're even citing Trump making public statements that you're not thrilled about his approach to Iran. But you're saying that at the end of the day, you just kind of like fall in line and support whatever happens.
Get my charge. Got my charge. Dude, I yawned too hard.
Office where he's getting remembering that an elephant was the third animal for lion, and Roe thinks he's been given his brain is still functioning. You could be
It was a lie. It's definitely a lie. Of course he did.
Are we going to get a 180 on all of our?
I know, that's pathetic.
All you're doing is advising the president. He's not listening. Like, what? Are you even an advisor? You're the vice president. What about like any other people, the intelligence community, or anything else? So we'll see how this goes on. This is just he's creating so much space here. He's creating so much space here between himself and Trump. It bothers me to get away with this. United States, he's said a little bit about what that advice was. But once the president makes a decision, so long as I think that it's legal and ethical and all that stuff, I certainly think whether you agree or disagree with it, legal and illegal. My attitude towards it is we try to make it as successful as possible. And I've got friends, of course, that you've expressed skepticism to this. A lot of friends who talk private and public who express skepticism to this who say, well, this is terrible, we disagree with the decision, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not a public commentator. My approach to this is not like you understand how crazy that is, right? I'm not a public commentator. You're the vice president. I don't know if the vice president has people can drive it all actually, right? I think the only thing explicitly called out for the vice president is that you're the tiebreaker for the president of the Senate. I think that's literally isn't it the only expressly called out job of the vice president? Like, what are you supposed to do? If not have some public opinion supporting your president, it's insane. But I'm sure Joe's going to push on this one. Monday morning quarterback decision made 3 months ago. My approach to it is to try to be as successful as possible, which is why I poured my heart into these negotiations, which is why I've tried to make that goal. Iran not having a nuclear weapon, something that's not true, both not just now, but it's true in the long term. And that's the way that I try to approach it.
So what is going on with Iran where it seems like the president keeps saying that a deal's been reached, negotiations have been successful, and then for the most part, we start bombing them?
Yeah, so how would we have here? So I have to explain a couple of things in the background so you sort of fully appreciate people fully appreciate what's going on. Like the year is like 2055, students are in class, and it's like, today we're learning about the Second World War in the year 2026. And the students are like, oh, cool. And it's like, okay, well, where are the statements from the administration that go over, like, you know, how the war is going and why the negotiations are working? It's like, we're really watching this. And it's like, well, this was a guy who did podcasts. And so the vice president is on his podcast because this is where the American people have to go to get any kind of like long form actual discussion related to the war. And the guy who's talking to him is a massive dick suck for the actual president. So number one, the bit of simplification, but you have two elements within the Iranian system. You have, and you sometimes hear hawkish Americans say this, they're all crazy people. They want to bring about, you know, the 12th Imam and all that stuff. Right? They're also practices. They're crazy people who stuff practice. Okay? So we start to show you, and really what the EOU says, it was misrepresented more than almost anything I've ever worked on in public life. What it says is, Iran is going to open the Strait of Hormuz, the violence is going to negotiate to see if we can come to a broad deal on the long-term nuclear issue. That's what we want. And what the Iranians wanted, of course, was long-term economic and sanction relief. Now, here's this. Now, I don't know. I just don't know. Well, no, Davis is not an idiot. There's like, what is Fuentes? First of all, his commentary. I feel like he's the only person who's like honest in this case, like throughout his goals everything. There's like so much political maneuver.
Oh my god, dude.
Jesus
Christ.
Trump is the one who always says, they're crazy. These guys, 47 dicks in their mouth. They can't fucking do anything. They're fucking crazy. They're lunatics. Even Rubio, I think, to some extent, has commented that these guys are crazy. And Vance comes in. We're not really that crazy. And our values are pretty simple. They've got pragmatism over there. We're pragmatic here. So that's simple, right?
That's actually kind of good.
So what's the problem? Now, he's not calling out Trump directly. So is it Rubio who fucked this up completely? He definitely didn't support Trump here. Is it Rubio and Trump?
All right, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. Oh man, I didn't realize I was gonna watch the entire thing. But we will watch the Hunter Biden and Tucker interview tomorrow. We'll first we'll cover like the Wisconsin primary governor's race to the primary, then after that we'll get into the Hunter Biden Tucker one. So that's like the goal.
But I think fundamentally we are on
so
it's just going to be really messy.
It was really good.
First week after signing
it's like Czech couldn't really defend what Hasan has said on the past because he said a lot more than just that. Like they could have said a lot more. Like if I was on there, I would just say a lot of stuff he said over the years. Just like a lot of fucking laundry list of insane shit he said. So
negotiation, and then the phase they're in right now is the hardliners really reacting strongly to all the oil that's coming out of Israel. And they basically said, we're going to try to shut this thing down. We're scared about losing our money.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with Tucker's, temple. And some of the stuff he's saying I agree with. The reason why I don't trust Tucker is because he's like places the fuck out of Russia, and he's like towards Putin. He said Putin is one of the best leaders of our time. He's misunderstood. He's blazing the fuck out for Russian grocery stores and bread. Then Musk, then he was offered like a $15 million job to work in Moscow. Just getting a house built in Dubai. It's just. I don't know. I think he's just a fucking Russian bot. So, I like Thomas Vance. He's a true libertarian, a constitutionalist. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just a fucking far right, extremist cock. I don't know a lot about Joe Gantz because I've only heard about Joe Gantz since the Iran war started. But I agree with him on foreign policy and then about how bad the Iran war has been. I don't know his other positions are like on the economy or like immigration or healthcare. So
2027, he'll be on the debate
stage. Like see. Alright, boys, I'm gonna go. I am tired. I'll be on Aussie tomorrow. We'll cover the. I'll be also shooting first on Twitch, obviously. We're going to try to do Overwatch update. There's been new heroes we added to the game, so we'll do that.
after that, we have
Then
to
we will obviously be covering the Wisconsin primary for the governor's race there. Then after that, we'll look at like all the articles, of what's going during the day. Then we'll watch the Hunter Biden Tucker interview. That's my plan. Alright, boys, I'm gonna hop off for tonight. It was a pretty good stream. And yeah, guys, I will see you guys later. Or peace out.
Ceasefire was promulgated in April. It was J.D. Vance that led the delegation to Islamabad, and he pushed for it. He wanted it. There was